Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
You heard that safe drivers get rewarded with Snapshot from Progressive, so you went online to check it out. But then you saw an ad for a vintage baseball cap, and now you find yourself checking the stats of that team's second baseman in '97, wondering why his stolen base total dropped after his rookie season. Wonder how much his rookie card is worth. Yes, they said it was easy to save money with Snapshot from Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
It's time to turn your bathroom into your personal sanctuary with Lowe's. Right now, save big on stylish fixtures and more storage, like a white shaker-style vanity cabinet with vanity top and mirror, now just $199. Or a dark gray vanity cabinet with white cultured marble top for just $299. Don't just do it yourself. Do it for yourself. Find more savings on everything you need for your home projects at Lowe's today. U.S. only, valid through February 2nd, 2021.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
It's 128. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich. I'm the Iceman.
And Manny Machado. Not worrying about missing any meals here and out. What was this? First of all, we need to get out. It signs with the Padres, and yeah, let's just get into this. Because Rich, you're the baseball guy, and yeah, what are the terms of this thing here?
It's a 10-year deal worth $300 million.
I was going to say $300 million, but I wanted to make sure. It seemed like a lot.
He has, I think, if I'm understanding the deal correctly, him and the team have a opt-out at the 5-year mark. So him or the team could opt out of the contract.
Well, he's got a prenup.
And since he's 26, I put him at 31. Now, personally, if I'm him, that's a genius move. Because that gives him, I mean, as long as he has the regular career trajectory of your typical, superstar player, he's still in his prime. He's on the back end of it at 31, but he's still in his prime. He can get paid $150 million in 5 years. Take a shot at winning with San Diego, who has signed other people. I mean, if hold on.
And they said Eric Hosmer like 2 seasons ago.
I was going to say, I think it was, between him, Hosmer, and one more player, they have $500 million wrapped up in 3 players. So, I mean, that's...
Who's throwing the ball?
Chump change.
Well,
I mean, with the Padres selling out every game, they can afford it.
Well,
yes, the perennial baseball powerhouse that is the San Diego Padres.
That's right.
Well, my thing is, where the fuck is this coming from?
It's just weather related. Hey, San Diego's nice. I'll play there.
I'm just not understanding it. I guess I'm just like I think they had 80 wins last season.
I mean, This has got to be a pure money move for Machado, right? This ain't about winning because they're not a contender, are they?
I wouldn't say they are. When's the last time you've heard their name even attached to being a contender?
1984?
No, it's been mid-2000s. I mean, the last time they went to the World Series was, I believe, 98 against and the Yankees swept them. But, I mean, they've won their division in I think it was 2005, 6, maybe it was 6, 7. I know it was back-to-back years, but... I mean, it's just.
Name your favorite Padre. Tony Gwynn. Name any other Padre.
Steve Garvey.
Manny Machado.
Trevor Hoffman. Players who haven't played in for fucking ever. Dave Winfield.
What the fuck?
So I don't know, man. I guess San Diego's loading up, and they're like, well, fuck it, we're gonna make a run here. We're going to try.
Well, I mean, just at some point, can a team just be like, you know what? I'm tired of being meh.
Yeah, but dude, $500 million in 3 players.
Yeah.
All position players.
Hey, it's called Moneyball.
Yeah, but that's not how Moneyball works. Moneyball doesn't mean spend $500 million on 3 players.
Yeah.
All I can say is send in the old woman, man.
A third of your
That's
lineup.
not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works. I delete you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Get out.
But yeah, it's quite a bit of money. I'm going to be completely brutally honest. I can't tell you their like ace pitcher. I mean, who's so dominant on their pitching staff. So what are you going to win? You're going to win with bats? I mean, okay, yeah. They've signed. Okay, they got Hosmer. They got Machado. They got Kinsler. Okay, like I'm looking at the rest of it, and I'm like, rest of the lineup. I'm like, not. Who the fuck are these guys? You know, like it's. Oh, here you go. Damian Easley is an assistant hitting coach.
Ooh.
Rod Barajas is a bench coach.
Friend do. That's
So
not
there you
how
go.
it
There's
works.
some names from
That's
back
not
in
how
the
any
day.
of this works.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, is this how they think they're going to win? Sure, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the Tigers, and in 2004 they signed Pudge. 2005 they signed Ordonez. They signed Troy Percival, which was a complete bust. 2006, talent came up, but that's the thing. Talent came up that wasn't there the year or two before. So unless they feel that they got some like real talent coming through their minor league system, almost on the verge, ready to break into the majors.
Yeah, you got Justin Verlander just hanging out, ready to be called up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think 2006. Look who. I mean, okay, not how they ended up, but how they started off in 2006. Verlander, Zamaya, Chris Shelton. They traded Urbina for Polanco, who was a rocket second base and the best contact hitter in the entire league for his time with the Tigers.
And boy, was that a
in the
good trade. Isn't
that's
isn't
probably
Urbina in jail now?
Yeah, he's in prison for life for setting a motherfucker on fire while he's alive. Like burning a dude to death while he was like still breathing.
Although maybe we shouldn't have traded him. That's that killer instinct. Maybe he knew what it took to win it.
Yeah, maybe we should have moved him out of a setup man into a closer because he's got the killer instinct. That's for damn sure. But no, I mean, you had players like that, but then you had Granderson. The year before, the Granderson was like in 2005. Granderson, it was like, okay, who's going to be the center fielder of the future, Nook Logan or Curtis Granderson? And Nook Logan, because of his speed, was the one that everyone thought was going to win out. And then it was bye-bye Nook, and Granderson came up and basically solidified his place in center field. So, I mean, what I'm getting at is that unless the Padres feel that they just have that type of talent coming up and just are on the bubble, I don't get throwing all this money at these stars. Unless it's just you really think that's going to put asses in the seats. And I mean, I'm Manny Machado, Eric Hosmer, Ian Kinsler, you think that's going to pack your fucking stadium?
Like,
I don't know.
5 years ago.
Well, I mean, it's if I was a Padres fan, I'd be like, okay, it's nice. I got a couple players' jerseys I won't be ashamed to wear, or people won't go, who's he? When did he play for the fucking team? I don't remember that motherfucker.
I think this is a money move for Machado, and I think this is a let's get some people in our stadium move for the Padres, because yeah, it takes many facets of a team to win, and 3 bats is going to make up for the fact that let's look up their pitching staff, shall we? Let's ODB serenades us. I'm like, fucking browser loads. All right.
Baby, I got your money. Hey, man,
Yeah.
baby, I got your money.
Let's see, San Diego Padres roster. Hey, they're 0-0. Jose Castillo, Miguel Diaz. Yeah, this isn't even their starters. All right, so
We really need to build that wall.
yeah, right. Well, I mean, I'm already pretty much through their pitcher list, and the only person I've heard on their pitching staff is Jose Castillo. So, have fun. Hope Machado hits you a lot of home runs, Padres.
Well, I mean, he wasn't. Apparently, he had a couple other teams he was talking to, the most serious being the White Sox, who gave him, overall, with incentives, a contract that would have been worth $320 million. The problem was that the last 2 years, it was a $250 million 8-year guaranteed contract with a $35 million option in 2027 and a $35 million option in 2028, making it worth $320 million. The options were based on 550 plate appearances the previous seasons before the option years. And if you remember, Machado got moved to L.A. and played pretty lackluster in the playoffs. In fact, there was one time he didn't run out a ball, and he could have had a double, and he ended up with a single.
L.A. loves overpaying guys named Manny.
There were times that he was just dogging it out there, and his attitude is just kind of, it seemed like, whatever. So, I mean, if you have a bad attitude as a player, but you have a burning desire to win, I'll put up with a bad attitude as long as you play hard. But if you got a shit attitude and you play and you're out there like you don't give a fuck, I'm good. I don't care what you do. I really don't give a fuck what you do in a contract year to make yourself more desirable as a free agent. The fuck did you do when the shit really mattered? And from what I remember last year, he didn't play like a man who was really dying to win a World Series. So I think you're absolutely right, Chris. I think it's a money move.
Out of all the places he could have gone, he picks the Padres. Boston, where could he have gone? Boston, it could have re-upped with the Dodgers. Houston, try to think of other contenders. The Capitals, the Nationals, and he picks the Padres. And this is clearly who had the most money to pay me.
Well, remember when Cano signed with Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, well, that's it. Congratulations. As long as you play out there, you will not be relevant. And he wasn't. And now he's 36 years old. And now he's playing in New York with the Mets. Talking about, I feel like I'm 25 again. You're not. All right? I hate to break your heart. You're not, dude. This isn't 2006. This isn't when you were on the Yankees. This isn't what Leland called Murderers Row plus Cano. That you're in the batting lineup of. You're 36. You pissed away the prime years of your career in Seattle to make money. I mean, I
hope it was worth it.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I just said, hope it was worth it.
I'm just saying. Go ahead, Earl.
I think maybe this was a flare from the Padres. I think that they're gonna it kind of backfired for the LA Lakers when they signed LeBron as, hey, look who we have. This is a destination to come to. And then everybody was like, maybe 5 years ago. No, thank you. So I think the Padres are trying to do that same kind of thing, bring in the big names to signal to free agents that, hey, come to San Diego, we're going to make a run. And, I mean, it could work, it could backfire. I've seen it work both ways. But, as far as their pitching, they could trade, some of the farm players they got coming up, and get some pitching. But they do have some pretty big bats now. So if they do get a little bit of pitching, it'll be interesting to say the least.
But with $500 million tied up in 3 players, where's the money coming from?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you trade for him, you really don't have to have that much money.
Yeah, but are you going to put it this way? With the room you have left, are you really going to get anybody good?
If you trade it right, you could trade him and make the trading team cover the back half of the salary.
In other words, find someone who's desperate.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd find someone desperate as hell.
Well, no, it's possible. That's a hell of a fucking plan to bank on, though. Because look, I think Machado did this for one reason. He can get out after 5 years. 5 years, like I said, the man's 26. In 5 years, he's 31. He's gotten paid more than 98.9% of the people on this planet will ever get paid in those 5 years he's been paid, even with California taxes coming out of it. Now he can sign with a contender and go after his championship and not have to worry about, I need that one contract that's going to set me up to the day I die. But it's still a risk. A lot of shit can happen in 5 years, man.
Yeah, he's counting on not getting injured.
Yeah, and with his, like I said, he has an obvious attitude and seems to be very aloof at times. That if he don't change that, if he doesn't show like that he's out there hustling, running out fucking singles, running out fly balls, doing whatever the fuck he's got to do to impress upon other teams that he wants to win. He's just not on a winning team. It might backfire. It might be at 31, and the Padres might go, well, we're done with you. And then he's going to be like, who do I sign with? Let me call up Seattle, see if they need a semi-name at this point.
Yeah, if he's going to be showing the kind of hustle he showed with L.A., he better be batting 400.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to end up with who needs a bat that bad?
So, yeah, to me, it's a gamble on both their parts. Obviously, I don't know what's going on in the front office in San Diego, but they think that they need to strike while the iron's hot.
What does this mean for Bryce Harper, Rich?
His price tag goes the fuck up. It's got to, especially with Scott Boras as his agent.
For sure.
They were talking 300. They were talking. Machado was looking to get somewhere around 250 million, and Harper was looking to get 300 million.
I thought Harper wasn't even going anywhere without 400 million.
Well, that's just not happening. That's just not happening. I can't see a team giving him $40 million a year for 10 years.
Who's that desperate? The correct answer is no longer the Cubs.
No, the Cubs. In fact, the Cubs, their payroll situation is pretty fucked. They got they got a lot of people on their payroll. Right now, I guess the front runner from everything I'm reading is the Phillies for Harper, and according to reports that came out in the last day or so, they're willing to meet his price tag.
Damn.
And he's looking to get 10 years and over 300 million. And I have to believe with Boras as his agent, Boras is not going to take $1 less than what Machado got paid.
Man, Philly's got their skirt hiked up and no draws on, huh? They're like, hey, over here.
Well, they signed McCutchen. They traded for Segura.
I'm about to walk to this dark alley. It'd be a shame if anything were to happen to me.
They gave their ace Aaron Nala a long-term extension. Philly is looking like Philly has when Philly made their run with Howard and all them guys, and then they dip back down. They're looking to come back up now. And if they're willing to throw the money at Harper, sure, great, wonderful. But I think we've talked about this before. I think we might even talked about it last year around this time when we had Todd on. Is Bryce Harper and his attitude worth over $300 million?
I don't think so.
No. But he loves the IR. That's my knock against the dude. He is not durable.
So yeah,
and $400 million. You better hit 500. Well, not every 2 times you're up there, you better hit the ball.
And then the Phillies, owner, John Middleton, famously said his team is willing to spend stupid, that's a direct quote, money this winter. Stupid. So, I mean, if I'm Scott Boras, I'm like, oh, that's music to my fucking ears.
We're about to test the bounds of what you think that word means, sir.
That brings up a good question. How come the fucking Nationals never went to the World Series?
They can't close the deal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of the great pitchers they have, the hard-hitting bats they have, and really?
You can't close the deal, man. They're the Andy Reid of baseball.
Isn't that the truth?
They can get close. They can't get it done.
I mean, and what's more heartbreaking? If they actually went to the World Series twice and got their ass handed to them like the Tigers, or they just never made it. I mean, I
never made it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you look at it this way, well, I can at least buy me a Tigers hat with World Series 2012 on it. Yeah, you mean the World Series that they stunk it up against fucking the Giants, where Prince Fielder did his famous impersonation of
kids, man,
a beached whale trying to slide in the third. Okay, cool. I can go spend $80 on a $59.50 official on-field ball cap instead of $60 for one because it's got a little patch on it that says World Series.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Wonderful.
I would like to have a T-shirt that says Detroit Lions Super Bowl something. Don't even got to win it. Just putting that out there.
Super Bowl watchers.
Yeah, Super Bowl
Super Bowl watch
participant.
party.
But yeah, I have to imagine Boris was just like had a blue vein diamond cutter the minute he heard about this fucking Machado.
He heard his
deal.
pants rip. It's like that scene in Archer where you heard him get a boner.
Exactly. I mean, and why not? Because this is music to his ears. So, I still, man, it's a lot of money for fucking. I don't know, man.
How much is guaranteed?
Well, there's for who, Harper?
For Machado.
I think the whole thing, as long as he.
Wow.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find the exact details.
Like, does he get a white baby as part of this deal? One white American baby and $300 million.
Okay, the details of Machado's contract have been revealed, and he is in for a massive payday, having signed the largest free agent contract in the history of American professional sports. The deal is set to be worth $300 million over 10 years. That's just all it's saying.
$30 million a year. He just looks at A-Rod and laughs. Okay, nice deal.
Well, that's the thing. It's
nice, like, $12 million a year you made.
$242 million is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, but still, did A-Rod never got the love that his ego thought he should have gotten?
Yeah, monetarily. I mean, for a while, he had the biggest, like you said, he had the biggest contract in free agent sports. But that was, 10 years ago?
But, I mean, he played, 5 years with the Yankees before he won a World Series? And at that point, it still wasn't like he carried them through that World Series in 2009.
That's correct. Don't tell him that, though.
I mean, the thing that sticks out in most non-Yankee fans' minds about his time in New York is him slapping the ball out of the first baseman's hand with them big white hamburger helper gloves of his in the 2004 ALCS, and then
his team photo,
and then sitting there going like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like acting like I didn't do anything when he got called out on the shit.
As a coxman, he's to be admired, though.
Yeah, but even then he played second fiddle to fucking
Jeets.
Yes, Jeter's team photo. Dude, we've ran down. Jeter is just fucking like prime USDA A+++.
Jeter's got to have HPV.
Pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, dude, some of the hottest women to ever walk the earth while he's been playing baseball. He's given gift baskets too and said, "Your money's on the dresser. I'm done with you, honey." You know,
isn't he the one too that isn't he in the list of people that make you watch his highlights with him?
I thought that was A-Rod.
Okay, that's A-Rod, and I know Kobe's in that club. I believe Kobe. You had to watch highlights of Kobe with Kobe.
Is one of the highlights? You know, we the jury in above entitled action.
Right,
not guilty.
Check out, this is my greatest career highlight. It's from Colorado.
Yeah, this is what kept me fucking little white girls instead of little white boys in prison for 5 to 10. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just this is a whole lot of money for players, and I'm just like, fuck it, man. I'm not an owner. I'm not a GM. Obviously, you know, the owners and the GMs of these teams think these players are worth it. But I mean, if I'm getting this type of money, I want a soldier on the field who I'm fast tracking to a 4-star general. You know what I'm saying? I don't want an attitude dude. I don't want a fucking guy who's like, nah, I'm gonna take a day off in the playoffs. No.
Hey, maybe they're like, listen, the Chargers are gone. This is all we got. We come see sports in San Diego. We're new team logo or new team slogan. Hey, this is all that's left.
What else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That's well, maybe it is. Who knows, man? I have no idea. But so motherfuckers are getting paid. If Philly does meet Harper's price, cheesesteaks on him, whatever the fuck, you know, San Diego's food is.
Seafood?
I guess that's on Machado. So
something seafood or Mexican, be my guess. There you go. Street tacos are on Machado. Is that racist?
Mexican seafood.
Yeah.
Fish tacos.
There we go.
But he's gonna be like, I don't care who you are, no extra pico de gallo for you.
Yeah.
No extra avocado. It's just too expensive.
Oh, come on, $30 million a year, man. Let me get the extra avocado.
Oh shit.
So
I still don't know how people are worth that much money. But whatever.
It's all based on revenue that you believe you can generate.
I mean, okay. Let's just play a little game of let's jump into a DeLorean with a flux capacitor, hit 88 miles per hour, and go back in time. Now, if you're the GM of the Detroit Lions when the draft with Tom Brady in it comes around, all right? You're obviously going to draft him, especially knowing what you know now. But do you back the Brinks truck up to him to make sure that he's a Lion for life? Do you also break the bank to try to get Belichick here? Because you know that one, you know what I'm saying? Belichick, Brady. Two tastes that taste even better together. So you're gonna have to get him to come to Detroit. Would you pay $300 million to Brady? Would you give Belichick a $100 million lifetime basically contract to get him on your football team?
See, I guess
knowing what they're capable of.
I guess that goes to, you know, how much do you pay to win? I guess how much does winning matter to you? And how much are you willing to pay for?
And that generally all teams at all times in all sports. And that's generally the mentality. What does it take to win?
Here's my thing, though. Some of the greatest people in sports, period, any sport, pick a sport, didn't make near the money these people are making.
Oh?
I don't care what sport, which athlete you pick in that sport to be the greatest. They didn't make near the money that these people are making.
Capitalism.
So, I mean, you're talking about how much revenue you could generate and all this shit, but the greats of these sports were never paid the money that these people are making.
You think Tom's getting paid on the back end?
No.
Come on now.
Tom Brady isn't making what your favorite quarterback, Kirk Cousins, is making in Minnesota.
See what he made in 2018.
Nolan Ryan, arguably one of the greatest pitchers ever, does not make what these pitchers make today.
Yeah, but
Babe Ruth,
you're comparing
the Bambino, the biggest swinger ever, doesn't make never close to what people are making.
That was
today.
back when guys had to have a second job, though, in the off
See my
season.
point?
And that was also back when you could buy a brand new fucking car for $100. Okay, the infamous quote from Babe Ruth was, a reporter said to him, "You made more than the president did this year," and he said, "I had a better season than him." All right, I mean, so dude, I mean, we're talking, you know, if you transpose that to today's money and adjust it for inflation, I'm sure they were making bank. They just weren't making this type of bank because sports was, go back and, you know what you do? Go on YouTube. In fact, anybody listening, do yourself a favor. Go on YouTube, look up like...
Not while listening, though. After you're done listening.
Like 1968 World Series. I think they have the whole thing on there. And that's Tigers versus the Cardinals. And, I mean, I believe every game from start to finish, as it was broadcast, is on there still. It was at one point. And look around the stadium. Don't pay attention. Just randomly click on points in the video. Watch for 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute, and look around the stadium. Don't pay attention to the players. And you tell me how many advertisements are all over the place. You tell me who sponsors every commercial break. You tell me who's sponsoring a broadcast booth, because it's fucking nobody. That's the difference. Advertisers figured out sports puts a lot of asses in the seats and a lot of people in front of televisions. We can reach them if we pay this sport this much money. I guarantee you most of the money the NFL makes is not from its season ticket holders. I guarantee that 100%. It's from the advertising revenue they make in the television deals. Those deals weren't there back in the day. That's the difference. That's why it's comparing apples to oranges. I get your point. But believe me, if the money was there back in the day like it is now, those players would have been making the equivalent of what they're making now back in the day. Well, no, because it took Curt Flood free agency and going to court and him sacrificing his entire career to open a door for free agents. So that was 71. So that's really when the floodgates open. Then it was just the owners pocketing the money and hey, if you win the World Series, I'll give you a $1,000 bonus. Oh, shit, $1,000? Okay. I could call in once a week on my winter job as a plumber, said Al Kaline. Some shit like that.
Hey, for the record, Ice, Brady has been averaging $20.5 million a year since 2016 with all his incentives. He makes it all on the back end.
Yay for Tom.
Still, I mean, but I do agree with you, man. I think here's the problem. The salaries, people can say, are out of control. But, okay, then there's one thing to do about that. If you don't like the salaries, don't watch the games, don't go to the games, don't talk about the games, ignore the games.
You can't blame the players for... They're doing it because they know they'll get it. They're agents. They're agents that I know you'll get this. Let's go for it.
Because I'm going to tell you what, that money's going to be made one way or the other. And if the players don't get a big cut, the people who actually put the asses in the seats, get the people to come out, buy the jerseys.
No one's coming to see Jerry Jones.
Exactly. If they don't get it, the owners will get it. So why shouldn't the players be like, yeah, fuck you, pay me?
I'm not going out to the ballpark to see Chris Ilitch.
Jerry Jones is kind of a bad example because I might actually pay to see a no-holds-barred, inject him with true serum, speech given by him.
Jerry Jones gets drunk on stage.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? I might throw down a 50 on that. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be worth it.
If that was an event, I would make a bet in Vegas on if Jerry says the N-word or not.
What's the over-under on how many times he said it? But still, you get my point. Well, any more thoughts on baseball or the contracts? I mean, pitchers and catchers have been reported, and I believe most teams by the end of the week, if not all teams by the end of the week, will have had at least one full squad practice. So,
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's time to turn your bathroom into your personal sanctuary with Lowe's. Right now, save big on stylish fixtures and more storage, like a white shaker-style vanity cabinet with vanity top and mirror, now just $199. Or a dark gray vanity cabinet with white cultured marble top for just $299. Don't just do it yourself. Do it for yourself. Find more savings on everything you need for your home projects at Lowe's today. U.S. only, valid through February 2nd, 2021.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are intelligent. You make all the right decisions. You were smart before smart was cool, and you made it cool again. You have a wealth of knowledge, and you are so very clever. I bet you already knew I was going to say that, you genius. There, don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you hear you could save big when you switch to Progressive. But I'm pretty sure you already knew that, too. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's time to turn your bathroom into your personal sanctuary with Lowe's. Right now, save big on stylish fixtures and more storage, like a white shaker-style vanity cabinet with vanity top and mirror, now just $199. Or a dark gray vanity cabinet with white cultured marble top for just $299. Don't just do it yourself. Do it for yourself. Find more savings on everything you need for your home projects at Lowe's today. U.S. only, valid through February 2nd, 2021.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
And this year, the earliest a season has begun. March 28th. What do you guys think of that?
It's going to be cold.
It's starting. We're starting earlier and we're ending later. What's baseball trying to do here? Is 6 months not? Is 6 months not enough? Half the year not enough for you, baseball? You got to squeeze out 7 months.
I guess, man. I don't know. I'm actually debating possibly trying to get a few people together, taking a day off, and going not to the game because I can't afford it, but going downtown for opening day. Just to do it one last time before I'm officially too old and I'm like, fuck this noise, I'll never do that again. But man, if this winter holds up, I ain't going out in this bullshit.
I know, right?
Fuck that. I mean, I don't give a good goddamn. They could resurrect Hank Greenberg and Ty Cobb. You know what I'm saying? And George Bell, you know what I'm saying? Put him at third, Ty Cobb, out in the outfield. Have Hal Newhouser pitching. I don't give a fuck. It is too cold. I'm not going. It's just, So, I don't know. We'll see.
You know what's ironic is I'm already there, Rich. I don't ever really want to go to a stadium to watch a game anymore. Because every time I do, I'm thinking,
you do have the Royals.
That's a great idea. I'm going to enjoy my fucking ass off, be it football, baseball, hockey, whatever. But then it gets there, I can't smoke. I'm sitting in very crowded seats. My fat ass don't fit in the seat.
The beer is $25.
Everything's so fucking expensive. I can't even drink. I can't eat. I can't buy a souvenir.
Can't sit. Can't remember when they used to give out scorecards for free?
Right.
For the game day, and and you could keep scores. I think they're the last time I went, I think they were charging $2-3 for them. Yep. It is literally a piece of cardboard paper with a picture on the front and a blank score sheet on the back that you got to fill in yourself.
And if you're not in a dome stadium, you got to worry about it raining. You got to worry about the heat, the cold.
Well, that's why I said I loved having season tickets in 2005. Opening day, Tigers, ridiculous. It's always going to be that way. That stadium is going to be crowded. But unless they were playing the Yankees or the Red Sox, there was literally people up in the nosebleed section tipping back pints they'd snuck in, smoking cigarettes and cigars, possibly other things too. And there was no ushers to be found because one of the games I went to against Kansas City, announced attendance was something like 4,000 people in a stadium that seats almost 40,000 people. So, I mean, what the fuck you need ushers for? You don't.
Yeah, but then and then you have to get up and you got to go to the bathroom. You got to everybody's got to move. My fat ass got to turn sideways, walk all the way around the stadium to find the bathroom.
Well,
forget what section I'm in. By the time I get back, I'm like, what the fuck?
See, that's where I just learned I had my spot picked out, and the bathroom was right behind me. Where I sat, there was literally at Comerica Park, there's literally 2 seats. All right. And when it was empty enough, I could always get those 2 seats, even though they weren't where my ticket said I was supposed to sit. The bathroom was right there. The beer vendor was like maybe 20 yards away from me. If I wanted to go stand in the outfield, that was like maybe a 75, yard walk. And I'm like in standing room in the outfield watching the whole game from right by where the fountain's at. So, I mean, I had it perfect. Then they got good, and I was like, because then the seats that I would sit in, with my little measly nosebleed fucking season ticket seats, they wanted $70, $80 for.
I cannot believe this is the 20th season coming up for Comerica Park.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a new park in my brain. Oh, hey, it's the new park. 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, dude, in my mind, 20 years ago was 1990.
Right.
What was it? Someone said to me the other day, they're like, I was talking about Friends. They're like, that old TV show? I'm like, old? What the fuck are you talking about? They're like, that show come on the air 25 years ago. Now think about when we were kids. A show that came on the air 25 years ago was something you'd watch on Nick at Night with your parents, your grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I Love Lucy and shit.
Well, Rich, we met in September of 1999. That would be 20 years ago this year. Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
I met Earl in September of 95, so
that's 25 years ago.
So yeah.
All right, but opening day at the Royals. Ooh. I have Kansas City for work. I could talk shit to the people I work with. Yeah, that's right. You whooped on us on opening day. How'd you like that? Let you look good in our house. Opening day.
The price combined with the inconvenience. I don't want to go to the fucking stadium. I want to sit in my fucking lazy boy recliner, have a beer, have a cigarette, go to the bathroom when I want, hit pause on the TV. Because when you go to the bathroom, you always miss the play of the fucking game. Or, be it, I don't care, hockey, baseball, even NASCAR, you miss the big-ass fucking wreck. What happened?
Yeah, it's when you're peeing, you hear the stadium roar, you're like, God damn it! Like, halfway peeing on your leg. Trying to run to see the TV or ask someone, what happened?
Yeah, it's like going to see Paul McCartney, and he's like, all right, we're going to play one off my new album. And you're like, okay, bathroom break. And all of a sudden, you didn't realize that's a 2-minute, 15-second song. Then you start hearing the opening notes to Hey Jude playing, and you're stuck in the bathroom and you can't get out. And you're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I didn't pay $300 to hear Hey Jude in a shitter.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, that's what you do what Todd does. And, he brought up a good point. He's close to the Tigers minor league affiliate out there in on the west side of the state. We're not that far from the Mud Hens. They're just in Toledo.
Yeah, but then you have to watch minor league baseball.
But is it really different than watching the Tigers this year?
Touche.
So you don't see Miggy DHing. You know what I'm
saying? The same really level of baseball.
Oh, Christ. All right, well, let's move on. Because there's some really interesting shit going on in hockey. And we'll just get the Homer shit out the way. So the Red Wings have pretty much dropped all pretense, and they're going to be sellers at the deadline. And it looks like their biggest piece they're looking to move is Gustav Nyquist. He's having a career year. He's 29 years old. Shit, he's got 48 points. His career best year is 54 points. That was in 2004, 2015. Now, he has a full no-trade clause in his contract, and the Red Wings have asked him to waive it as of today, he hasn't said, nor his representatives have said whether he's going to waive it or not. But I imagine if they can get him traded to a team that's a contender, then I imagine he'd probably waive it. Isn't he the last piece left of or one of the last pieces left from the 2018 or the 2008 team that won the cup? Oh, I don't think he was. Dude, he'd have been 18. And wasn't he a rookie? He could not have been. Hold on. No, dude, his first full season in NHL was 2011, 2012. That wasn't even his first full season. He just played 18 games. His first full season was 2014, 2015. He played 82 games. And he's only played 82 games 2 times since then. He played 76 in the 16-17 season. So, yeah. I mean, he's just to me this tells me that the Red Wings are definitely going full on youth movement, and I'm kind of like, you know what? Do your thing, man. That's if you're going to commit to a rebuild, not this half-ass retool bullshit. I'm over that garbage. Swear to God, I'm over that garbage. You just want to get it over with? You think, listen, if we're going to do this, let's do this. Let's not make this take any seasons longer than it needs to be. Well, it's how many fucking seasons do you really want to sit through where they're fighting for the last playoff spot, make it only to get swept out in the first round? I don't want to see that. Let them miss the playoffs for 2-3 years, 4 years even, and then when they do make a run, they make it to the second, third round. A couple years of doing that, then they are contenders. I mean, I'd rather have that happen than this false hope that, oh shit, we might make the playoffs. Yeah, and then what? Then what? The fuck is the point? It's kind of like the Giants this year. The Giants were just sucking. They should have sat Eli, and they should have improved their draft stock. Instead, what did they do? They rattled off the wins that they did. They lowered their draft equity and then traded for a higher draft pick. What the fuck is the point of that? I mean, I know they're in New York. They have easy access to crack. The GM there, I don't know what's going on if I'm a New York Giants fan. Who's the GM? 1995? Lawrence Taylor? That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing? That just sucks. And for their fan base, I know it sucks. Because one of the biggest sports talk guy here in Detroit is a Giants fan. And believe me, anytime they come up, he shits all over them for what they did last season. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? A bunch of retards is what they are. And that's kind of how I like, don't do this shit. Don't. It's like, the Pistons might make the playoffs. And they're going to make a deep run, aren't they? The fuck out of here. No, they're not. They're not the best in anything. It's not like it's not like, what year was it that the Lions had the best defense? They made the playoffs. And it was like, even the most cynical, just negative Lions fan was like, we might actually win a playoff game. And then, no, not going to happen. Was that the year against the Saints? Where the Saints never punted? Yeah. Yeah, that might be it. In fact, I think I believe it is. But I mean, if you have the best defense in the league going into the playoffs, it gives you hope. If you are just literally just 40-degree daying it into the fucking last spot in the playoffs, what hope do you have? Oh, I hope our goaltender catches fire. That's about it. Literally. I hope their goaltender literally burst into flames. Yeah, So make the move. That's if you can make the move and you can get some decent draft picks, go ahead. Because I mean, the spots for Howard are the window to move him seems to be coming to an abrupt close, and ironically, he's not playing all that bad right now. But I mean, you just had the Oilers trade Cam Talbot to the Flyers for Anthony Stollerts for the Flyers goalie, and it's like,
didn't we give them a goalie?
Yeah, Mrazek, but now he's on Carolina, which I got a story about Carolina and Don Cherry a little bit later, but yeah. But I mean, it's like, what are you doing here? You know he's not going to. Do you really want to re-sign Howard? What have you won with Howard? I'll wait. Go ahead, tell me. There we go. That's exactly it. Nothing against the man. I'm sure
There's
nice
also audio
in the
from a
hallways,
current Red Wings game as
spirit,
well.
But you ain't the goaltender that if you were going to get it done, you'd have given us signs you were going to get it done before now. There wouldn't have been the goalie controversy with Mrazek that he had if he was the bona fide, no bullshit number one goaltender and played like it. That's all there is to it. So move him. Move whoever the fuck you can. If you're going to be sellers, go all in. Keep your young players. Keep your draft picks. Stock up on draft picks. Yes, I understand. I understand that the argument, because one of the arguments that you hear all the time from hockey people is the problem is if you move a player. Okay, if you trade Nyquist, who is starting in his spot next year? Not a draft pick. This isn't the NBA where you trade for a draft pick and you know damn well that he's either going to be on that bench or starting. That's not how it works in the NHL. It's much more like the MLB league than it's much like minor league baseball where you have to work your way up to the bigs than it is the NBA, the NFL. So I don't know, man. To me, if you're going to sell. The Red Wings are out of it. They can't make the playoffs this year at this point. It's done. It's over with. There's no point in bullshitting around. They did an excellent job of, and when I say they, I don't necessarily mean the players, but I mean the team, and the team's PR department did an excellent job of selling the hype of, oh man, we could make the playoffs this year. But, that hope is gone. And you should have realized that was a very long shot. That shouldn't have been plan A. That should have been, okay, oh fuck, we made the playoffs. What do we do now?
23-29, second to last in the Atlantic Division. Not good. Not used to seeing the Wings at the bottom.
Not for a long time. In fact, there was an article I read about how this is the longest stretch for all Detroit teams. Something like over 1,000 days.
Ooh.
Without
championship.
No, not championship. Anybody in the playoffs, anybody of any type, And was it playoffs? Maybe it was championships. I don't know. I'm trying to find a fucking article. I swore I had it bookmarked, but that's what I get for thinking I had something bookmarked. Obviously, I didn't.
It's got to be because the Lions went to the playoffs in 2017, and 1,000 days is at least 3 years.
So yeah, playoffs. Okay. I mean, it's it's a barren time here in Detroit.
Yeah. Baseball season ain't looking good. We know about basketball and hockey season already.
And I mean, it looked like for a minute it might be a possibility that come March Madness, bracket time, you could have.
Oh, that's right.
MSU is two number one seeds, but not anymore. I can't remember the player from MSU who broke his hand, but he's out 3 to 6 weeks. That's what the doctors are saying. The team's saying indefinitely. And, the Wolverines have, dropped to what, 7th? They were as high as 2 at one point in the rankings?
Yeah, they'll still both make the tournament. But yeah, number one.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. But still, it's like they're not going to end up playing in the NIT. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's just like it's a little bit of a dry period here.
Well, when the Lions signed Le'Veon Bell in the offseason, we'll have the football season to look forward to, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen there.
Your new starting receiver for the Detroit Lions, Antonio Brown. Sorry,
but I do think I do want to touch on the Oilers real quick because I think it's interesting. They moved Cam Talbot their goalie. They have Keith Gretzky as their intern general manager. And yes, that is Wayne Gretzky's brother.
But why would they do all this? They're one game better than the Red Wings.
Because they were trying to clear up cap room for Andrei Sekera, their defenseman. Like they're one of their hopefuls for to build a franchise around.
So this is all just this is all housekeeping for next season already.
Yeah, pretty much. And the fact that it's looking highly unlikely Ken Hitchcock will be coming back as the head coach next season. So, I mean, who knows what type of coach they're looking to hire. I mean, they're not even guaranteed they're going to have the same, like I said, they're not even guaranteed they're going to have, Keith Gretzky in as their general manager next year. But, I mean, what else do you do besides, I mean, you're trading away players for, middle of the road, draft picks to clear salary off the books? Okay. I mean, Edmonton's, they've had a lot of really fucking high draft picks. They've had a lot of players with a lot of hype and hope showing up on their fucking roster. And I feel like they're like a snake bit franchise that just can't get out of their own fucking way.
Yeah, the 80s were a long time ago. That was the last time I remember them being good. I mean, they showed some life here a couple seasons ago, but really, I mean, pretty much since Wayne Gretzky left, they've been just kind of.
Well, they won one without Gretzky. They won one with Messier as their captain. But still, I mean, yeah, the days of Yari Curry, Grant Fuhrer, all them guys, it was long gone.
Yeah,
but Now that the Red Wings aren't in the Western Conference, I kind of feel bad for the Oilers. I never thought I'd say that after living through the late 80s and going, the Wings would have probably had a cup back then if it wasn't for running into the Oilers in 87, 88. But, it's kind of true, man. It's like, what the fuck? How do you guys have this much luck in the draft lottery? Draft players with, like I said, so much hope, so much hype around them, and then just continue to trip over your own fucking feet.
Bad management. And that's the short answer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you're talking about management and everything. Have you looked at the Lightning recently, Rich?
Mm-mm.
They got a guy named Nikita Kucherov.
Okay.
He's at 96 assists.
He's a stud defenseman, isn't he?
Yeah, the last time 100 assists were broken a season was Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, the Lightning's the best team in the league by 20 points.
They're kind of on fire.
17 points is their closest competitor. The Lightning have 96 points. Their closest competitor are the Flames with 79. Jesus. Stevie Y's going out with a bang in Tampa Bay. Cool. Bring that shit here. Let's go.
Well, yeah, that's well-worn carpet on this show. Hold on a sec. Let me see here.
But yeah, that was all put together by Stevie. So, Mir.
Yeah, 46 wins, 11 losses, and we're almost in March.
No, Kucherov's a right winger. He's got 99. He's got 99 points total. Kucherov has 70 assists.
Oh, okay.
But Jesus God, 28 on the power play.
Kid's a beast, man.
Must be nice.
And it don't matter where you play the Lightning either. 24-5-2 at home, 22-6-2 away. Either doesn't matter wherever they're gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here looking at something that is not a stat you hear very often, but god damn, they're a pretty fucking disciplined team. Their player with the highest penalty minutes is Paquette at 60 penalty minutes in 59 games.
Wow,
that's disciplined hockey. That's not taking bullshit penalties.
Come on, Stevie, let's go. Bring it in. Let's bring it home. Come on.
And I mean, with the speed and the way the game is now, where you can't play the trap, you can't everything's interference, et cetera, et cetera. You got to play disciplined hockey because you start giving that much open space to a team, it's not going to end well for you. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Jesus, God, I didn't realize that. Fuck. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, back in the day, we'd call them a bunch of pussies, but they're winning, so. Who's the pussy in this situation? I'll be a pussy, but I'll be a pussy raising the cup.
You're beating everybody.
Yeah, but everybody in Tampa still are like, who the fuck are the Lightning?
Well, that's not on the team. That's just on the fan base,
right?
I mean, like, just to be brutally honest with you, man, everybody here on this show has seen it. I'm sure everybody listening has seen it. At 30 for 30 about the U. Where it was the state of Miami, from Tampa to Miami, the state of Miami. That is no bullshit. That is absolutely no bullshit, man. Like, the only reason I really got into the Tampa Bay Bucks when I lived down there is because the neighbor kids that lived a couple houses down, every Sunday were sitting in front of the fucking TV watching the creamsicle yucks. And I was like, well, it's kind of fun rooting for a team that is never going to win. Because you're never let down. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's all right. I got a football team that I like that wins. They're called the Wolverines. So, and I just never got into professional football because none of my family ever watched it. So that's when I got into them. But yeah. All right. So, well, you got up until tonight? The Blues were on a 10-game winning streak.
Damn it, I just had their name right in front of me to get the playoff standings. Yeah, according to this, it says they have won 11. So did they win tonight?
Wait a minute, hold on a sec. No. I'm looking, wait a minute. What the fuck?
The St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, way to go, ESPN. Jesus Christ. Really? Hold on. No, yep, they did. They beat Tampa. You're right.
It's top-notch research here, folks.
Yeah, well, whatever. Get over it. You get what you pay for.
Buzzing.
Yeah, so Blues playing hot. And let me ask, that's kind of the area you're in. Any hype about them, Ice?
Absolutely not. Everybody here loves the Wichita Thunder.
See, there you go.
Nobody even knows who the Wichita Thunder are, except people in here in Wichita.
So there you go with that.
Yeah, and I just spent the weekend like East Kansas City. No one really talked about the Blues, quite honestly. So yeah, I mean, isn't the joke with the Blues? Isn't this just another? Aren't they on the road to first round fodder, anyways? Isn't that what the Blues are?
First, second round historically, yeah.
The team slogan, because somebody's got to do it.
Even though they've had some historical playoff games, like triple overtime, Game 7 with the Red Wings, when Yzerman scored from the blue line, that was a nail biter. I remember everyone I was watching that game with was drinking beer. First overtime, they still were drinking beer. Second overtime, we need something harder. Third overtime, I don't think they remember anything except for Yzerman scoring that goal because they were they were browned out. Not blacked out, but close to it.
Third overtime, someone opens a bottle of Everclear.
Might have been double overtime. Might have been thinking about a different game. I don't know. See? Brown out. Proof that I was there. It's kind of fuzzy.
You went online to switch your car insurance to Progressive so you could save money. But then you saw a friend request from an old summer camp buddy. And now here you are, clicking through photos of his kickball team from 2011. Looks like they won the championship that year. Then he moved to Tulsa. Oh, a new tattoo. Yes, they said it was easy to save hundreds on car insurance with Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average savings by new customer surveyed who saved in 2019.
It's time to turn your bathroom into your personal sanctuary with Lowe's. Right now, save big on stylish fixtures and more storage, like a white shaker-style vanity cabinet with vanity top and mirror, now just $199. Or a dark gray vanity cabinet with white cultured marble top for just $2.99. Don't just do it yourself. Do it for yourself. Find more savings on everything you need for your home projects at Lowe's today. U.S. only, valid through February 2nd, 2021.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for a table at a restaurant.
Thompson, party of 4. Thompson, party of 4. Thompson, party... Oh, there you are.
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn, learn smarter.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
But I did want to talk one more story in the NHL, and this is a story you really don't even need to know anything about the NHL except for who the Carolina Hurricanes are and who Don Cherry is. So the Carolina Hurricanes this year have decided that when they win a game at home, they're going to have these unique celebrations. And the first one I saw, it was like the whole team got on one blue line, skated down to the other end of the ice, and then jumped into the boards. And I was like, okay, so it's like a half-ass suicide, except for you don't skate back? Okay. I was like, whatever, sure, I guess. Then I saw they were playing a game of, after they won, players skated out to center ice, sat around in a circle around the center ice face-off circle, and started playing a game of Duck, Duck, Goose. And this was their celebration. And I was like, okay, that's just strange, but...
What is this, the NFL?
Sure, I guess.
I mean, it worked for the NFL. Why not the NHL, right?
Someone hide a phone in the net?
Then, the last celebration I saw, and I'm not sure about the Duck, Duck, Goose and the celebration I'm about to describe, which one came first. But this one was like, okay, this is a little bit ridiculous. 2 players skated out to center ice along with the mascot. One player stood at center ice like he was a pitcher at a baseball game. The other player grabbed his stick like he was a batter at a baseball game, and the mascot crouched down behind the player with his stick like he was a catcher. And the player at center ice acted like he threw a ball, player at the plate hit the ball, and then skated around like he was, celebrating a home run, complete with bat flip / hockey stick flip. And then the team mobbed him. He threw his helmet in the air. And the team mobbed him at home base and was like spraying him with water and shit. Now, ultimately, I look. You're the Carolina.
Also a celebration of bowling.
Are you serious?
Seriously. Yeah, there was also a celebration of bowling. They used the helmet as a bowling ball. They also all lined around center ice, the ring around center ice. One guy took a hockey stick, jammed it in the middle of center ice, and they all fell.
They're one game out of the wild card spot. I mean, are they just desperate for attention? Maybe focus on playing some hockey. Wouldn't have to do crazy shit to get people to talk about you.
This is where Don Cherry comes in. And if you know anything about Don Cherry, you know that, Don Cherry's rather old school in his thinking. And apparently he said, this is ridiculous. What are you celebrating? When you win a cup, that's when you celebrate. What are you doing? And so the team decided, in true 2019 fashion, to respond to Don Cherry by making a meme of a screenshot taken from The Simpsons that had Homer's dad. And instead of the caption saying old man yells at crowd, it said old hockey analyst yells at Selly. And instead of the cloud, it was the Hurricanes logo. And they put a Don Cherry suit on Homer's dad. And That was their response. So Don Cherry came back, because it's Don Cherry, of course, and goes, well, first of all, that's retarded. And as far as I'm concerned, PR department for the Hurricanes are a bunch of jerks. So the Hurricanes, not to be outdone by Don Cherry, printed up T-shirts that said Carolina Hurricanes, a bunch of jerks. They're now selling them at home games. Now that you've been caught up on all the drama, here's my question to you two. How do you feel about this type of celebrating in hockey?
I'm with Don Cherry. Yeah, what are you celebrating? I mean, I guess it's different in the NFL. It comes with the territory in the NFL, but it generally, like, you don't, like, is it celebrating pretty much just skating around the ice, your teammates mob you, next play, keep it moving?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been, like, the salute, the act like, you're shooting skeet with your hockey stick. There's been players who've done a few different things. Ride the hockey stick after you score a goal.
Billy Madison.
Now, see, stuff like that I can get behind, because NFL players don't celebrate when they win, other than the championships or playoffs, But they celebrate after they score. So if NHL players want to get together and do something quickly with the 5 players on the ice, cool. But the whole celebrating the victory at the end, I mean, it's camaraderie. I get it. I don't like it because that was the last gentleman's sport, if you will. Because after they lose or win or whatever, they meet and shake hands.
Rich, you're describing all this. I'm thinking, Iceman talks about it all the time. I'm thinking about like those scenes in basketball with the dudes getting together and doing river dance and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enter sports play. What's next? They're going to wear pads and a helmet and carry the puck into the net, and you got to dodge Mike Tyson's punch out to get there. What's going on?
This is how I look at it. Yes, the Hurricanes have won a cup in their history, but tell me when. Go ahead, I'll wait. Exactly. So it's not like the part of the country they're in is a hockey hotbed. All right. So I'm trying to figure like what's going through the mind of everybody who, one, the players that come up with this, two, the coaches, the GM, the team that allows it. Not only allows it, but apparently the PR department that is running wild with it. And, picking a fight with Don Cherry these days is a very safe thing to do because he's considered just an old codger, get off my lawn, throwback to an era that's long gone. So there's really no, he's considered irrelevant.
When hockey was good?
Well, yeah. I mean, arguably. I more and more, I am running into the younger hockey fans who will sit and argue with me that this is the best hockey that they've ever seen in their entire life. They don't care what Gretzky did. They don't care what Lemieux did. They don't care what Jágr did. They don't care what Yzerman did. They don't care what Fedorov did. They don't care what Sakic did. They don't care about what Patrick Waugh did. They don't care about anything. That was all boring hockey. That this is the most exciting. It's the fastest. It's the most wide open, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Man, that's like... It's like someone go, man, fuck that Babe Ruth bullshit. Like, what? Wow. Yeah, okay.
This is the league Bettman has engineered, and these are the fans that now watch this sport that Bettman has engineered this league into. And I
can't believe he hasn't put a stop to this yet.
It's like somebody going, that Will Chamberlain guy wasn't that great. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I mean, someone who's known me the longest on this show is Earl, and I was calling this shit 20 years ago plus. I was like, eventually it's going to turn into this shit. They're just not going to have respect for the players from back in the day because the game's going to change so much. They're going to go, those players couldn't play today. And it's like...
Mickey Mantle, but that guy's old.
Could they not play because the rules have been engineered to make them unable to play? Or are they talent-wise unable to play today?
You know what, though? I will take any of the great teams from the 80s and 90s and put them against any of the good teams today. Any one of them. Pick them.
They're not as soft.
Here's Here's the caveat I got to give on that one. Under what rules are we playing? Are we playing the way they called games in the 80s and 90s, or are we playing the way they call games today?
I don't care. I don't care.
Well, I'm glad that you have more faith in teams from the 80s and 90s under today's rules, because that's why the game has changed. It's been almost 15 years since the lockout. There have been entire generations of players started their career after the lockout, ended their career before now, who never knew what it was like to play under the old rules.
You're right, but here's the thing. The people I'm talking about and the teams I'm talking about didn't care about the rules they played under. They damn sure ain't going to care about the rules that these kids play under.
I will say this: these little, the quote unquote enforcers they have these days. Yeah, they may be more skilled with the stick and a puck than the enforcers from back in the day, but they wouldn't get away with 1/10 of the shit if they had to answer to guys like, I'm not even going to go Probert, Koser, Domi. I'll give him. There's Dave Manson. Go talk to him.
Tony Twist.
There's Chris Parker. Go have a conversation with him. There's Rob Ray.
Stu Grimson.
Yeah. Just go ahead. No. John Cordick's got a couple words he wants to have with you. Go ahead.
See, Rich, that's what I'm saying. This fast, open ice, I don't care which rules you put the teams in. All right? I really don't. Because they didn't care then. They wouldn't care now. And this fancy free, footloose, fancy free type shit, I could just run all over the ice and you can't stop me, would not work. And it would be legal. It wouldn't be an illegal hit. It wouldn't be, anything. It would just be hard hitting. The guys back then didn't care about, their own body. They would just launch at people. If they got hurt, so what? I'll heal. And that mentality today is not there. People are like, I could do it, but So they would come across center ice thinking, I got this, and then all of a sudden just bam, and he'd be out.
Good night.
Right, I'm telling you, it night and day is the way those. It's in every sport. That's just like who's better, LeBron or Jordan. You take any Jordan team, put it against any LeBron team. I don't care what rules you want to have. It's not going to matter. Jordan's still going to win.
Yeah, if Jordan played LeBron rules, he scored 9 million points.
I'm saying. So it's not even. It's not even fair.
I think what he's saying is Ice and I are both with Don Cherry on this one. Knock it off. Celebrating the playoffs.
Yeah, seriously.
You're 31 and 23. You got your nose up Columbus's ass, hoping to get a wild card spot with 20 games to go. What are you celebrating?
If they want to do a little celebrating when they score a goal, cool. But
well, one of the things I will say is, I mean, if you remember a couple playoffs ago, in the NHL, the Penguins organization, someone from the Penguins organization went to the press and started bitching about how the NHL doesn't protect its star players. They don't have star player rules. They don't have rules for your average players and then rules for your star players. And that's what they need to start having. And I was like, if that happens, you have officially just given up the ghost, and you're just saying you want basketball on ice at this point. And something happened with Anthony Mantha from the Red Wings. He hit Claude Giroux from the Flyers, drove him into the boards. And all the articles I saw was Anthony Mantha should be suspended for, double digits worth of games because he hit a star player from behind, rode him into the boards. Why the fuck does it matter if he's a star player or not? If what he did is so fucking bad, he should get the same shit if he did it to the least player on the fucking ice. The least talented player on the ice, period. End of story.
Yeah, your punishment shouldn't be tied to the status of the person that you incurred the penalty against.
Now, how it played out is that Wayne Simmons, and Anthony Mantha went right the fuck at it. What, less than a minute into the game? Next time they met? Okay, well, congratulations. I'm glad you let him handle it the old-fashioned way. But the fact that there was so many people in the hockey world calling for that tells me that eventually that's the way this league's going to go. And when it goes that way officially, I don't know, man. It's going to be real hard because at this point, the only reason I have this much interest in hockey at this point in the year is because we're gearing up for the playoffs. That's it. The regular season has lost my interest. I wish I could say different. It's like when you go to a movie and you're like you really want to like the movie and you're pumped about the movie and you sit through it and you walk out and you're like, wow, that sucked. But you really wanted to like it.
Like Phantom Menace. How everybody felt after Phantom Menace.
Well, I kind of felt that way about the prequels until I saw the new sequels. And then I was like, well, especially Last Jedi, I was like, okay, I don't even give a fuck about the last Star Wars, Episode 9. I'll bootleg the fuck out of that. I ain't paying a goddamn thing to see that because they just fucked up the entire fucking Star Wars story with that horse shit. But that's whatever. That's neither here nor there. But I mean, that's how I feel about the regular season. And if they have star player rules in the regular season, how long until it bleeds over into the playoffs? And then it's literally a bunch of horse shit. You can't touch a star player. And meanwhile, you got star players out there like,
Thanks, Jordan.
Crosby taking fucking cheap shots at anybody and everybody. And at least he has learned his lesson to keep his fucking trap shut about it more than he used to. Because he used to flap his gums and act like he was like entitled to do this shit because people take cheap shots at me.
Mr. Untouchable.
Yeah, well, sorry, dude. The people that you're talking about that take cheap shots at you versus the people you take cheap shots on, I can't watch 10-minute videos of them on YouTube of them diving when no one's even touching them, or someone just skates by and barely brushes them, and they fall over all over dramatic like he does, acting like they just got cross-checked in the throat. That's why a guy like Crosby, yes, he's a highly skilled player, but he doesn't have my respect as a player. If I was out there and I was playing and he'd pull that shit one time if I was on the ice with him, because then I'd do my best to put that motherfucker in the hospital to show him, you want to act hurt? Let me really hurt you for a change.
Cut to Rich pulling off his skate and trying to stab him with it.
Go full on fucking Happy Gilmore. I don't give a shit.
Using your stick like an axe.
Yeah, you want to cry like a bitch and act like a bitch? Well, then we'll treat you like a bitch. Not a problem. But yeah,
it's not a show though. We talk about assaulting Sidney Crosby.
I guess. But
it's a winter show.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's pretty much all I have for hockey. And for my opinion, I have no problem with the goal celebrations. Hockey has a way of, if you go a little too far celebrating the goal, someone will let you know one way or the other down the line. There's an old saying, elephants and hockey players never forget. It's almost 42 years on this planet, most of them watching hockey. Even today, in today's league, it still holds true. They got long memories. So, yeah, you want to go ahead and show your ass? All right. But, I mean, the whole celebrating after a home win, it's like, to me, that screams, look at us. Put us on SportsCenter. Someone try to make us, somehow, let's make ourselves relevant.
Yeah.
Why don't you just win and be relevant?
Yeah, get in the playoffs. Celebrate then.
I mean, and hey, when you win the cup, celebrate like Ovechkin's never took a drink in his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, go nuts.
I feel
buy
like
stock in Jack Daniels and drink them dry.
And why they got to talk shit about Don Cherry?
Alex O.
Feel like Dave Chappelle and making the band. How you gonna choke a legend?
You're too close. You're too close. Well, it's because Don Cherry's. There's. In today's world, everything's political. We cover this all the time on Unregimented and sometimes on this show. Don Cherry's political views are lean to the right and are conservative. And so that makes him fair game for anything and everything. And it's like, yeah, but look, Don Cherry said shit that I didn't agree with. Don Cherry hated the idea of European players coming over in the early 90s. He hated their style of play.
Build that wall.
Like, he talked so much shit about the Russian Five. Okay. But the one thing Don Cherry did is when Konstantinov was out there throwing his body around without any fucking regard for his own safety. He also showed the man respect because he's like, no, he may be a Russian player, but he's out there acting like a little mini Scott Stevens the best he can. You know what I'm saying? Like he gave it up when it was deserved, but because of his history and
give him his due.
Yeah, exactly. Because of his history with the Rock'em Sock'em series, which is this last year is gonna this Rock'em Sock'em 30 will be the last one that's ever put out with Don Cherry on it. And I tinfoil hat time. I gotta wonder if that came down from up high in the NHL saying you're done with it. That's not what we want to promote. Kind of like if you used to watch Monday Night Football 15 years ago, you remember he got jacked up. They don't show that no more. Now it's, come on, man, or it was. Give him his due! Because that's how the NFL wants to carry it. Hey, we're a skill sport. It's not necessarily about the hits. Whereas when we were growing up, you could walk into any sports store, any video store, and rent videos of nothing but the most savage hits in the NFL.
Right.
And enjoy the fuck out there.
Joe Theismann was on the cover of the video.
I mean, and God forbid if they were willing to go back to the days like when Frank Gifford got laid out. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit looked like Muhammad Ali standing over homeboy after he knocked him out. Like, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Get his socks.
Exactly.
The thing about comparing rates at Progressive.com is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about comparing rates at Progressive.com. We probably don't even need the words comparing rates anymore to remind you that seasoning steaks at Progressive.com is an easy way to save on car insurance, or that swimming in trousers helps you find the lowest rate. And that's the thing about foraging for truffles. You've heard a lot of ads about standing tiptoe on a cinder block. Compare rates and sing softly to a wounded field mouse and save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Well, no, there's one more story. You sent it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you go ahead and run with this one. You go ahead and take the lead on this one.
Well, it's Martina Navratilova thinks trans people are cheating. Like a trans man to a woman is cheating. She thinks having a dick is cheating. It's paraphrasing a podcaster, perhaps on this show.
No, no, cricket.
Right. But I mean that's really what she's coming out saying, and she's taking some shit for it. And I don't know, what do you guys think about it?
Well, you know what? Two things. One, it is cheating. I don't give a fuck who's offended. It is cheating. You can't beat a guy at a woman's sport. You just can't. If you do, you really, really, really threw everything you had at it and got lucky, or you practiced forever for that moment. Otherwise, it ain't fucking happening.
Well, wasn't there a player in the 70s? What was it? Renee Richards? Like, she was a man, and she wasn't a very good tennis player, and when she transitioned to a woman, all of a sudden she just started dominating.
Yeah. I believe there was a 30 for 30 about that as well.
But didn't Martina beat her anyway?
Well, I mean, look, yes, you can. It is possible for a woman to beat a man in tennis if that woman's name is Billie Jean King and she's playing a man named Bobby Riggs, who's out there sucking his last breath, waiting for someone to wheel the iron lung to the fucking side of the fucking tennis court so he can climb in. All right. I mean, that was not a female tennis player at her peak versus a male tennis player at his peak. All right. That entire situation was set up for her to win. Period. End of story. Because that was 1973. That was the I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar, burn the bra, women in the workforce, you can have it all, you come a long way, baby, Virginia Slimes and all that shit. Whatever, right? But how about this? Take the number one ranked male in tennis right now, put a wig on him, and let him play Serena Williams.
Yeah, I said let's see Serena versus Federer. Let's go. See who wins. Might be Serena.
Serena.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you see what I'm saying? Now,
yeah, but
okay, hold on. I wasn't done.
But that's not fair because Serena transgendered into a man. So.
Oh, hold on. There you go.
All right.
Oh, fuck that! If you ain't seen Serena Williams lately, you don't understand. That bitch is huge.
No, we've covered it. Like
that's a huge bitch.
That's a huge bitch. Yes, we've covered it ad nauseum, man. My point is, you take Serena Williams out of it, put Venus Williams in there. Who's winning?
Federer.
Now put any other female tennis player in there. Who's winning?
Federer.
Venus. Oh, wait. Never mind. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot the game we were playing.
Okay, Serena Williams is a fucking specimen. All right? She is the most dominant player in women's tennis, without a doubt, at this moment, and possibly in all of tennis at this moment. All right? I've never argued that. I've only argued when people say she's the most dominant athlete ever, and I'm like, no. There are decathlon athletes. There are athletes that, if you don't know who Jim Thorpe is, look him up. I'm not here to be your fucking history teacher. I'm just here to tell you that you're ignorant of history if you don't know who Jim Thorpe is. Okay? So go get some education, motherfucker.
Basketball player from North Carolina who might disagree with you as well.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now.
Lance Armstrong for the win.
Okay, but I'm talking athlete. I'm not talking great at one sport. Hey, Bo Jackson's got something to say about her being the greatest athlete, all-around athlete ever. Because Bo Jackson was dominant in baseball and football until that injury that damn near cost him his leg. They almost amputated his leg. He still made a comeback to baseball after that. All right? What two sports has she dominated in? Crickets, exactly. Thank you. So that's my beef with that. I've never said she's not a dominant tennis player. Anyone who says that is either blind, deaf, or ignorant. But I'm sorry. Look. At some point the left, the Democrats, whatever you want to call them, the progressives, went from the party of science to the party of you hurt my feelings. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, they now deny biology.
There are biological differences between men and women. All right, go do yourself a favor. If you don't believe me, look up, if they haven't taken it off YouTube, look up Joe Rogan's interview with a trans man named Buck Angel. Now, when you see pictures of Buck Angel just by himself with his shirt off, the dude looks like, ooh, boy. That looks like Tank Abbott from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that motherfucker just wow. But then you see him next to Joe Rogan, who's all of 5'8", and you realize, he still has the frame of a woman. He still has the body size of a woman, and he was a petite woman at one point in his life. All right, who the fuck you think's going to win in a fucking fist fight between those two?
Mr. Rogan.
Well, I mean, that's not really fair because Joe Rogan is a trained MMA, fighter, but you get my point. Now, I've said this before. Women want to go out there and play a man's sport. If you can hang with them, knock yourself out. But there should be no special set-asides. There should be no special rules, and you should not get any special treatment.
Ray Lewis gets to hit you.
Period. End of story. End of story.
Watch you fold in half. Ray Lewis.
You want to line up against Ndamukong Suh?
Go ahead.
Knock yourself out.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Yep.
Hope you got good medical.
I mean, that's just.
All of that being said, no, it is cheating. I talked about this when we talked about the Texas high school wrestler who went from being a boy to being a girl and wrestled.
But what if Ndamukong Suh wants to transition? Should he still be allowed to play in the NFL?
Hey, I'll tell you like this: if Ndamukong Suh transitions, you tell him he can't play.
Right. Well, I don't work for the Rams, so it's not on me.
No, but seriously, when the guy transgendered into a girl and played high school wrestling, she damn near killed people. It was unfair. It's just not fair. Just because you change your genitalia doesn't mean you change your genetic makeup.
Yeah, it doesn't change your body mass, muscle mass, etc. Doesn't change the fact that you're still going to have testosterone pumping through your veins.
Right.
No matter how many hormone treatments you get, you're still making man juice.
By the way, I just want to point out something real quick. This is Martina Navratilova, who came out
in 1981.
Exactly.
When it still cost you your career to say you were gay in anything.
All right. This is a woman who's been a tireless campaigner for the LGBT community and has it specifically said in her statement, to quote, to put the argument at its most basic, a man can decide to be female, take hormones if required by whatever sporting organization is concerned, win everything in sight, perhaps earn a small fortune, and then reverse his decision and go back to making babies if he so desires. It's insane and it's cheating. I'm happy to address a transgender woman in whatever form she prefers, but I would not be happy to compete against her. It would not be fair. Now, obviously, this is
I'm sure social media. She's a war criminal.
The word anything phobic, okay, first of all, it's a misnomer. Second of all, it's an insult. Okay, you're going to tell me that this woman, who is a fearless advocate for gay rights, is afraid of trans people? Because that's what the word phobic means. This is just more rewriting language, just more Stalin-esque attitude by these people to where, no, that word never meant what you think it means. It never meant what was in the dictionary for hundreds upon hundreds of years. It means what we want it to mean now. And she's just calling it like it is, a spade. Sticking feathers up your ass doesn't make you a chicken. Sorry. Now, does that mean if you want to be addressed as a chicken in day-to-day life, I have no problem. What's up, cock of the walk? But you know what? I don't want to compete against you because what's going to happen? What's going to happen, guys? Eventually, you know what's going to happen. And of course, some doctor had to come out and say it's a wild fantasy worry. That's an irrational fear of something that doesn't happen. An irrational fear of trans people, transphobia. Wait a minute. So trans people aren't competing against natural-born women? Okay, does this bitch not follow any news stories about a subject that supposedly she's so passionate about? Because you brought it up earlier, Ice, the trans wrestler in Texas.
Or the trans track and field up in Oregon. I mean, I could do this all day. It's not fair. You
know what's going to happen? Eventually there's going to be a female to male trans person who's going to go, I want to play with men. And it's going to go to court, and it's going to play out in court, and they're going to go, fine, play against men. And they're going to get severely injured.
Yep.
And then all these people who yell transphobic and homophobic and all this shit, anybody who dares say, wait a minute, there's this thing called science, and science doesn't give a fuck about your feelings, they're going to come out and they're going to start, how could you let this happen? This is a hate crime. This wouldn't have happened.
They did this on purpose.
Exactly.
They were targeted.
Exactly.
You wanted to play with the big boys. So what happens to the big boys? You get your shit kicked in every play.
See, I had this conversation with one of my employees. I was talking to him. I was like, swingers, transgendered, transvestites, men who dress up like women who dress up. All of this shit has been around for many, many generations, for many moons. Okay, and it all had its place.
You just kept it at home.
Seriously, because nobody cared. Today, nobody cares. But today, everybody wants you to care. Like they need you to care. You're supposed to care. We don't care. I don't care if you come out in a dress. I don't care if you have a penis. I don't care what you do with your life. I don't care. But here's the problem. They're trying to force you to care now. And because you don't care, now you're all types of different names, like Rich says.
No, I get it. Yeah, stop telling me I have to care when I really don't care. The goal should be that I don't care.
We had a whole show with a guest on Unregimented because of the statement, I don't care if my child is gay. And that person in conversation took an exception to it. And we had her on. And she, through conversation on the show, she realized, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. You're saying it doesn't matter if the person's gay, if your daughter or your son is gay. It's not that you don't care about them or you don't care that they're gay. It just doesn't matter to you. You're not going to love them any differently. I'm like, exactly. But see, the fact that their mind went to that point immediately tells you what the mindset is. And if you walk around looking for offense, you will find it. If you walk around looking to be a victim, you will find victimhood. All right? That's all there is to it. And it's really hard in the sports world to sit here and act like, wow, man, yeah, wow, you're a victim and we should feel sorry for you, when that type of attitude isn't celebrated in the sports world. Sports isn't a race to the bottom or to the top of the victimhood totem pole. It's a race to the top to be the best. And if you've overcome shit to be the best, that's okay, good. That just makes your story that much more interesting. But no one's going to feel sorry for you from where you came from.
Quite honestly, if you play the victim in sports, you don't play sports.
Here's the argument that people come up with, Rich, and I'm sorry, you can't debate this argument. Is if a guy transitions to a girl, okay, he is too good to play with the women, and he's not good enough to play with the men. That's true. He'll never be on top. He'll never be the best as a man competing with the men. And he'll always be on the top with an asterisk if he competes with the women. So what do you do?
Well, I mean, considering that...
take up a different hobby.
No, hold on a sec. No, I got an answer for you. It's ridiculous, but so is the amount of people claiming to be trans these days, that if I was an actual trans person, I would do my best to put them in the hospital because they're just doing nothing but hurting my cause and something that I struggle with and have fought an internal struggle with, and I damn sure am willing to bet an external struggle with people around me, because you got a lot of people walking around these days, they're younger, going, I'm trans. And no, you're not trans. You're trend sexual, okay? You're trend gender. You think it's cool to say this shit because you're in high school or it's your first or second year of fucking college. All right? Show me the hormone therapy you're on. Show me the psychological profile and testing that you've went through. Show me the doctors that you've talked to about transitioning. No. You just put on what you think are stereotypically boys or girls' clothes and walk around and declare yourself transgendered. Well, if that's the case, start up transgendered leagues, because apparently half the fucking population under the age of 20 is transgendered these days. More than enough athletes. It's got to be more than enough athletes to have transgendered leagues. There's your answer.
Yeah, but now you've isolated them and you're prejudiced against allowing them into your league.
You isolate men versus women. There's professional woman football league. I've talked about it on this show. I have a friend whose girlfriend plays on one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They play at John Glenn High School in Westland, Michigan. It's a professional Detroit women's football team, full contact. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be
full on female though. If they do go do all of that shit, Rich, and they're full on female, why can't they play?
Well, they're biological females. Why can't they play against the biological males? Because the field would be littered with their dead bodies.
I agree. But what I'm telling you is, if they do go through the profile, they do go through the hormone therapy and the transgender surgery, and they are now female, why can't they play?
You know, it goes back to what we were talking about, which is, by the way, when we get done with this and we get into football, I forgot completely about this, but you guys are going to shit yourself. There's a new law in New Jersey regarding practice for high school football players. The end is starting, and this is the start of it, but we'll get to that. Let them play then. Let them play. It's their decision. And if they get out there and they get maimed, crippled, or killed, that was their decision. Because we say that about the men. We say that about the men that play college football, that play high school football, that play professional football. We did it last week. It's their decision. Let them play. Just understand, no quarter will be given, and don't ask for any, because you're not going to get it. And understand, you are playing a violent sport with people who are very good at violence. You better be as good as them, because you can't go out there and half-ass it. Oh, you might take a play or two off every once in a while, but once you reach a certain level, you go out there and half-ass it, you will wake up in traction for the next 6 months. So go ahead, let them play.
Meet my friend Aaron Donald.
Because I'm done with it, dude. I'm tired. I'm tired. No, you don't understand. I am tired of people trying to tell me that I'm an asshole because I don't want to see dead bodies all over a football field.
Now, here's the thing, Rich.
Bring on Gladiators. Bring on the Lions. I mean, and I'm not talking to Detroit ones. I mean, put a football team against a bunch of fucking Lions. Let's go. Let's just go full on fucking madness. Let's turn this into Caligula. Okay? Find Nero, give him a fucking violin, and let him play as Rome Burns, dude.
The Detroit Lions versus the real Lions.
I'm serious, dude. I'm done. I'm tired of this shit.
The Chicago Bears versus some real Bears.
Now, here's the thing, Rich. I'm not even talking about the physicality of it. Just before we even get to that, like I said, if a boy transgenders into a girl, if he plays with the women, he'll always be on top with an asterisk. If he plays with the guy, he'll never be the greatest. It won't happen. The answer is transgender has no place in sports for that reason. You can't do it.
Well, they say they can. So maybe after, I don't know, maybe after enough people die or are paralyzed, people will actually wake up to reality. But here's the thing. I'm entertained. Are you not entertained? I like seeing people get paralyzed. Fuck it. Paralyze them. Kill them. I don't care. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being told I'm an asshole for worrying about the health and safety of people. It's like if I decided to go out and try to play high school football right now, I would drop dead of a heart attack before I even got through with the fucking warm-up. There's no high school football team in the world that would let me go out there and try. But if I stomp my feet and I come up with some way to put it as I'm being oppressed and victimized by not being out there, fine, go. And when you die, everyone's your funeral will go, well, he was a dumbass, now he's dead for it. That's his problem. That was his choice.
They have 9-1 dialed and then tell you to take 3 screens. By the time you get to the first one, they'll be hitting the third one.
Because, dude, it's the only way this shit's going to fucking end. It's the only way this shit's going to end. It's going to take fine.
And it can't be no pussy. You can't be a kicker. That's the rule.
No, if they're a great kicker, fucking go be the transgendered fucking Jason Hansen. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But understand, eventually there's going to be one of these people that go when these people that go. Well, I think I can be an offensive lineman. Okay, go ahead. Take on someone like Ndamukong Suh one-on-one. Go ahead. I wish you luck.
When he steps on you, I don't want to hear it.
I don't.
Well, while we're on the topic, should we move into football?
All I'm saying, final say, is like I just said, transgender does not have a place in sports for that reason. It can't be fair. It'll never be fair. There's no way to make it fair. If you're going to be transgendered, Go be transgendered and enjoy what you've changed into. You cannot come play sports because it will never, ever work. You'll never be the best on one side. You'll always be the best with an asterisk on the other. There's no in between there. That's it.
You could change your external biology. You can't change your internal biology. All the surgeries you want. If you transition from female to male, you're still going to have a set of ovaries. Transition from...
By the way, I'll say this. If there is a transgendered man who goes out and plays one of the fucking, in the fucking trenches positions and excels at it, shit, they got a fan.
Yeah.
Because you know what? That's a tough motherfucker right there. Tougher than me. But I don't think I'm going to see it anytime in my lifetime.
But men have bigger frames, more muscle mass.
It might happen in high school. Might happen in high school. Because there's a lot of high school football teams out there that I've looked at and been like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Your biggest player is 5'9". Like, are you serious?
It's the small towns you got to watch out for.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Meanwhile, there's a chick on the volleyball team like, shit, you ever thought about playing football?
Yeah, you don't even need to jump. You just put your hands up and catch the ball.
Yeah.
And the rest of it's like swatting gnats away. Go away. That's fine. But the minute she goes to play for Ohio State, buddy, go across the middle and go up for that ball. Find out. Learn what people who play sports have to learn.
Learn to throw helicopter.
You think you're invulnerable until you find out you're not. And then that's when gut check time comes. That's when you decide how bad do you want it. Because once you get injured severely and you come back from it, you have to decide, is it worth it to go out there and put myself at that risk again? And that's gut check time. And if you got the guts and you have the ability and you can find someone who will put you on your team, more power to you. I wish nothing but the best for you, but if I was a betting man, I'd hit the sports book on over, under, and how long till this person is no longer on the field.
True that.
Anyways.
Speaking of someone nobody longer on the field.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
This kind of dovetails into from what we were talking about to this subject. You guys heard about the New Jersey high school football rules now?
Is this the Max's Law thing?
No, that's about concussions. Okay, New Jersey this is from U.S. News and World Daily. New Jersey high school football teams could soon have the strictest player-on-player practice contact rules in the history of the sport. The New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association, the governing board of the state's high school athletics, unanimously approved a proposal last week, that would reduce in-season full practice field contact from 90 minutes per week to a maximum of 15 minutes. Okay.
So... sorry, my brain's broken. I don't even know what to say. I mean, do we just have how many EMS crews do we just have on standby for each game?
Oh, because it gets better. Preseason full contact, which is currently unlimited, would be reduced to 6 hours, and the existing ban on full contact in spring and summer would remain unchanged.
You're going to have generations of kids who don't know how to take a hit, who can't get hit, who aren't durable.
You got 15 minutes a week for an entire high school football team to have full contact practice. What do? Do you just have them hit each other for 15 minutes? And this is particularly to Ice. Ice used to coach high school football. What would you do?
I would quit. Honestly, you can't do that. What they mean by full contact is line them up, run plays.
Yeah.
And
you go do that for 15 minutes a week?
Necessarily full contact doesn't necessarily mean you're standing in a circle and going to hit people.
You're saying a day or a week?
A week.
Oh, what?
15 minutes per week.
Yeah, you're trying to run plays in pads.
A game's an hour. Well, I mean, at least on paper, a game's an hour. But it's 2 or 3.
A game, like a high school football game?
No, fine, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But still, 15...
It's 48 minutes time, and, you got 12 minutes in halftime. And
you can only run 15 minutes a week before a game? Why bother? Why fucking bother?
I guess you can do walkthroughs. You can do two-hand touch. You can do flag football to practice.
I mean, just play that.
Exactly. How many times we talked about it on this show that we knew this was coming. This is the start. This is the beginning of the end of football as we know it.
Yeah, because 15 minutes of full contact, so you can't put the pads on, is what they're saying.
Okay, so we're going to be playing rugby then? We're just going to have kids out there, no pads, hitting each other? You know that would fly.
That's what I would do.
Till a parent sees you. Then you won't have to quit because you're fired.
No, they can't fire me. I didn't break any rules.
You can't fire Ice because he quits.
But no, your initial response is exactly how I felt. Because I'd be like, I'm not going to coach a football team in New Jersey then, high school football team, because I can't guarantee their safety. I'm going to have kids that don't know how to take fucking, like you said, Chris, how to take a hit. It's like trying to teach a kid judo without teaching him how to fall without damn near breaking his neck. It's like teaching a kid gymnastics without teaching them how to roll when they fall, to limit the amount of impact, okay?
Teach you how to play guitar, but you only get to touch the guitar for 15 minutes a week.
Yeah, what are you, Phoebe from Friends?
Yeah.
Do the chicken claw. Do the old lady arthritis cord. Do this. No.
We're going to talk about guitar 5 days a week for 8 hours, but you only get to touch it for 15 minutes a week.
For the first time.
How would you get good at guitar?
For the first time in, how long has the FM sports station been around now here in Detroit? Like
20 plus years.
Going on 20 years. For the first time in 20 years, when they discussed this law, I heard them say something finally on that station. They said, football won't be around, at least as we know it, in 20 years. And it might even be sooner.
That's depressing. That's bumming me out. Great job, everybody.
So there you go, folks. Let's nerf the world.
You people voted for Hubert Humphrey, and you killed Jesus.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. It's nerfing the world. There could never be any risk. It's a good thing that once you get out of high school, the real world is exactly like that. There's no such thing as risk. You will never work a job where you might be injured or die.
What are the new parents? They're no longer helicopter parents. They're lawnmower parents because they mow down any adversity.
There you go. This is the end result. So
I'm baffled at this.
I just want to see what happens. First of all, I want to see when the first serious injury happens in New Jersey under this, in New Jersey high school football, under these rules, if anyone has the balls to stand up and say, what the fuck did you expect?
Well, yeah, I mean, if anything, injuries are going to go up because people aren't going to be used to being hit. They're not going to be as durable. I mean, their bodies aren't going to be... yeah.
Do you know the most scared I ever was in football pads was the first time I lined up in football pads and someone said, you're about to get hit? That's the most frightened I've ever been. I'd never been hit before. And I got hit and I realized, it's not as enjoyable as titty fucking Carmen Electra. But it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me by a long shot. And I got up and I wasn't as afraid on the second one.
Then you played the all-black school.
But I never made any team. I'm just saying. And this was just me and friends who played football. And they're like, you've never fucking played organized football? And I'm like, nope.
They're like, all right, get in.
Let me lay a hit on you. Here, yeah. Put this shit on. But no, I'm dead serious. Like, you're going to have... Earl, what happens if you're out there playing scared?
Oh, you're going to get ran over, dude. Mm-hmm. You'll be broke. And even if you're not broke, you're going to say you're broke.
It starts at the bottom, and it'll work its way to the top. In 15 to 20 years, we're going to have an entire generation that was raised on this type of shit, playing professional football.
I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch those games.
Well,
with the recent Super Bowl, I don't want to watch that game either. So fuck it, let them do it.
Well, it's just a little morsel to think on and to digest. if you're a football fan.
I was scared one time when I was 10 years old in football pads. When I was 10 years old, just like you, Rich, I didn't know about hitting. I was in Ferris Middle School, and my coach took the bull of the team, comes over and saw that I was, kind of shy about hitting people, and he made this kid grab my shoulder pads and just headbutt me 4 times. And he looked at me and he goes, "Did that hurt?" And I was like, "No, sir." He goes, "All right, now go make it hurt on somebody else." I was like, "What?" "Go hit him." Okay. And I've never stopped.
Bite this tree. Arr!
I did, dude. I was a beast.
Fortunately for me,
as soon
football.
As I found out that headbutting didn't hurt, it came on.
Fortunately for me, football is how I found out I had flat feet. I did all of the practices and then bowed out like right before the first game. I just couldn't take it anymore.
But all right, so yeah, I'm sure that eventually, as this, because we're what, summer, that's when if this law has went into effect just recently, high school football's done with for the year. So come summer, we'll see how many stories are leaked about coaches who refuse to adhere to this and the what happens to them. And see, because that's what I'm saying. The first time a kid gets hurt, they're not going to put it on this bullshit law. They're going to put it on the coaches and say, well, they weren't doing their job. They let them let them hit each other for 30 minutes a week instead of 15.
They're on minute 17.
Yeah.
Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
My name's Barry. I live right above you. I don't host parties. I host after parties. They're like parties, only louder and nobody goes home. You can see right here I ripped out all the carpeting because it was holding me back with my pogo stick. Man's got a pogo. Oh, I'm a prankster. I'll grease up a soda can and then when somebody grabs it, boom!
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor, but we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. No one is funnier than you. People laugh just thinking about the things you've said. I'm laughing at one of them right now. Coworkers repeat your jokes at the office, but they're never as good as when you tell them, and shame on them for trying. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better knowing you could save when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Although I'm sure you'd have a funnier way to say that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net. Sporgy.
Do you know what all of this keeps pushing me towards? And I did it this Sunday. They pussified hockey. It completely pansified and sissified football. NBA is a joke until fucking Golden State gets dismantled. This just keeps pushing me towards NASCAR. Honestly, seriously. Because no matter what they do to NASCAR, there's always going to be a wreck. They can't pansify that. I mean, what are they going to do? Put them out there in bumper cars?
Maybe.
Don't give them any ideas, serious. Dude. I'm dead serious, too. Don't start giving them any ideas.
Well, because the Daytona 500 was just ran Sunday, and Denny Hamlin won it because of fucking all of the wreck that happened right before the end of the race.
If another high-profile driver gets killed, like Dale Earnhardt did, I wouldn't be surprised if there starts to be rumblings that if a wreck happens, there's an investigation, and whatever drivers are deemed to be responsible for the wreck get a year or 2 ban, second time a 5-year ban, third time lifetime ban. Okay? Because 5 years ago, if I told you a law like this was going to be in effect, you'd have told me the same thing. For football, you told me the same thing. You'd have said the same thing.
That's possible, Richard. I mean, it could happen, but I highly doubt something like that'll happen, just because it's happened so much in NASCAR racing. Period. It's just it is what it is. I mean, come on.
Also,
ran over the guy on a dirt track. Ran him over, killed him.
But let's be honest, there are fucking so many wrecks in NASCAR, and these guys walk away from them because the safety has to be there, or else they're not walking away from these things. I think, and also, I think because NASCAR is looked at as a white trash sport, I don't think, ma and pa, tea sipping, pinky out, middle, in not middle America, but you know what I'm saying, in New York and LA, are worried about their little crotch goblin going off and becoming, running off, becoming a NASCAR driver. Now, if that shit starts happening, you start seeing NASCAR drivers with the last name, Rothschild, Hilton, and they start dying, yeah, then you're going to start seeing some shit change. But at this point, I think it's like rugby. I think it's like hockey to an extent. It's out of the American consciousness. It's not right there at the top of. I mean, it is if you're a NASCAR fan. It is if you live in a hotbed of NASCAR and you grow up with it. Just like hockey is for us here in Detroit. But you go someplace where it's not, and it's just not in their consciousness. They don't even think about it. Football is everywhere. And believe me, I understand. This will trickle down to other sports eventually. And I truly believe the next one on the chopping block will be hockey. And it'll probably come from Canada. It most likely won't come from the U.S. It'll come from Canada. And then the U.S. will take its cue from Canada, and so on and so forth and so forth.
Yeah, they even pussified baseball.
Yep, can't slide into the catcher.
Right.
Can't slide hard into second base to break up a double play. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, go on with your bad self there, NASCAR. I mean, they added restrictor plates, so the cars can't go over 220 or 200 or something like that. But other than that, they beefed up the padding around the track and said, go.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you, dude.
I understand. And you're kind of right. They have black flagged racers for intentionally starting a wreck. The shit that Dale Earnhardt Sr. used to do, the intimidating thing where he was just like, move, get out of the way, bitch, move. Before it was a popular song, he was sitting there literally, move, get out of the way, bitch. That shit would have got him black flagged today.
What about Henry Rollins?
Well, anyways, let's move on because we went awful long on this episode, and we still have 2 stories that we need to get to that involve football. You want to take this one, Chris, with Kaepernick?
Yeah, he's settled with the NFL. So, in my opinion, he's getting paid. We can get into this debate, but I mean, my reasoning is it's the NFL makes billions of dollars in revenue. The NFL has plenty of time and money to have gone to court and just said, Cap, we'll just stall this till you run out of cash. And they instead said, nope, let's get out the checkbook. What's it going to take? And he's getting paid. And I bet we'll even see him perhaps on an NFL team. Kind of changed my pre-show stance on that. Like, I think he's going to get paid.
I don't know that he's going to be on a team. But what I think happened is exactly what happened at the Super Bowl with the announcer. They want to get rid of the negative connotations around the NFL. All of it. Concussion, CTE, kneeling for the flag, all of it. Get it all out of the way. Now. They want it now. Focus on the draft, coming up preseason, getting into the season. They want to get rid of all the negative connotation that was last season. And that has been for the past couple seasons.
How do you make that go away? How do you make anything go away? Just throw some money at it.
Well, it seems like there's a NDA involved with this, non-disclosure agreement. So he can't go to the press and speak on it. The NFL won't go to the press and speak on it. But there are things that are public. This isn't a settlement that required the approval of the team owners. This is the NFL's Management Council Executive Committee. They're the ones that voted unanimously to approve the settlement. Not one, and they didn't need the vote of one of the member clubs. So, even though this is a settlement, that doesn't mean that owners will give their GMs the green light to put him on a team. But because of the nature of this case, this is what they were talking about at NPR, at least, about this case. If he's blacklisted again, he could bring up another lawsuit for collusion. Again, there's no. It's not like it's not like double jeopardy.
Also, it's kind of painting the owners in a corner.
Yes.
Well, you can do it again. So
I don't think he's gonna. I think
just to do the right thing clause.
Well, to quote one of Rich's favorite quotes, "Just go away. Don't go away mad. Just go away."
No, I mean, now this is just reckless speculation that was bantered about in a few different articles off the beaten path and brought up on AM Sports Talk here in Detroit. But it was a national sports talk show. I can't remember the name of it. But apparently there might have been. It's been reported through anonymous sources that the AAF has offered Kaepernick, if you want to come play for us, we'd be more than happy to have you.
I told they need splashy signing. I brought it up. They need it. I tried again last weekend. Yeah. So it could help. It'd be some stunt casting, but he plays football again. They get someone that, But then, too, do they divide the country? Do you lose? Cause think about it. They got teams in like Memphis and Birmingham, Atlanta.
Well, I mean,
Salt Lake City.
Part of his, we don't know we don't know what's in the settlement. I mean, the door is open for him technically to come back to the NFL, as far as we can tell. But we don't know if there was a stipulation put on there that if you do come back, no more kneeling, no more coming out to practice and warm up before the game with, socks with pigs on them and shit.
But do you realize, though, this means the NFL, again, who has billions of dollars in revenue, means they didn't think they could win in court. I think this is a big deal.
Well, I mean, because it became pretty clear when you had guys who hadn't thrown a pass in half a decade were getting signed.
They signed a butt fumble.
Up. Yeah. Sanchez is still in the league. He still is right now. He is on a roster.
Weren't we talking about Chad Henne is still playing?
Chad Henne is on a roster right now.
Case Keenum.
Okay. So I mean, I even made the argument initially. Look, he's sorry. He had one or two really good seasons, played out of his mind, got his team to the Super Bowl. Great for him. But obviously, these teams must be seeing something they don't like.
Yeah.
But then it really turned into, okay, I'm going to have to be an idiot to stand by that.
Same here, because go ahead.
Seeing the people that they were signing ahead of him.
Yeah. Seeing the people who had gigs, come on now, this guy's got a gig, and we can't get Cap a gig. Come on now.
Jay Cutler. $10 million for a year.
Out there playing like he did not give a single fuck.
Kaepernick probably would have done a better job quarterbacking for Miami the last year than Jay Cutler.
The problem with that is, one of the antics that Kaepernick pulled was walking around in a Fidel Castro shirt, singing his praises.
Probably would have got shot in Miami.
Yeah, they ain't gonna fly with a lot of people in Miami.
No.
So that was probably a wise decision. If he said, "I'm not even going to make he told his agent, "Don't even call Miami," and Miami told him through back channels, don't even have your agent call us. That was probably a wise decision on everybody's part.
I mean, just thinking about it, it's hindsight, right? But if you're going to have all your crazy politics, why'd you leave San Francisco? You were in the perfect spot.
Why did you opt out of your contract in San Francisco?
Yeah. You should have stayed right in San Francisco. You can have all the crazy politics you want in San Francisco.
So at this point, okay, it's done. It's settled. This. I didn't think it'd turn out like this. This lawsuit would turn out like this. In fact, we all three sat when he initially filed the lawsuit with Eric Reed and said, okay,
good luck.
He's never playing in the NFL again. But seems like possibly the door might be open. If
He
that's
made the NFL blink.
If that's the case, I kind of want to see him because you know why? Let's see what you got. Because
backs up Stafford.
Well, he's been validated to a certain extent. All right. I mean, it's collusion amongst owners and general managers on the word of owners in sports is not like a far-fetched, never happens thing. It's happened like a lot. Players have been blacklisted. Players have lost their career for daring to speak out about certain things. I brought him up earlier. Look up the story of Curt Flood and his fight for free agency. It cost him his career, but it opened the doors to an entire new way to do business in sports. All right? It happens. So that to me was never the issue. The issue was, can he play at the level that the NFL is going to demand? And after seeing the people being signed, I'm like, well, I damn sure know he can play better than that. And part of the question I've had for the last, 2 years he's been out of football is he even football ready? But apparently he's kept up with private trainers through this entire situation. Now that was one of the things that came out after the settlement. Well, if he's been training with quarterback coaches and going to the whatever places they have where football players train in the off season, and he's been keeping up on it, give him a shot. I mean, what could be better than if he actually signs as a backup? The kneeling shit, it doesn't matter because they don't show the national anthem anymore. He can kneel all the fuck he wants. They're not going to show it. All right. And that was half of the fucking beef in the situation at that point anyways. So people, it hit their lizard brain and they just went nuts. Oh, okay. But it could be a better story for everybody involved if he's signed as a backup, starter gets injured, he comes in, and he just does his fucking job and leads his team to a playoff fucking spot. The NFL's going to win.
America forgives him.
Exactly. I mean, but now if he gets signed and he comes into the league and, like I said, he keeps pulling, he's walking around during warm-ups with socks with, depicting police as, pigs and letting
Chavo Guerrero's shirt.
Letting his girlfriend run her mouth and, speak on his behalf and, probably won't end well for him. Because at that point, if a team does sign him, because that was the other thing they said, teams don't want that distraction. Okay. Well, if a team does sign him and give him a chance and he gets in there and he proves to be a distraction and they cut him for being a distraction, that pretty much
But I guess too, I'm not buying that whole he's a distraction thing anymore because I think we talked about this a couple shows ago. Most of the noise in the last probably year and a half about Colin Kaepernick has not come from Colin Kaepernick. Like he has been he's been very silent, I guess you could say, as far as in the media. There really hasn't been any microphones in his face. He hasn't made any outlandish quotes. Most of the noise from him has been exactly that. It's been all the noise around him.
About him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, until his Nike commercial.
But still, he didn't say shit in his Nike commercial. You know what I'm saying? It was still just a picture of him in the Nike commercial. He didn't say shit.
It's not like he got up there. It's not like he got up there, though. Like, I understand. You don't like the guy. Whatever. I'm not even going to fucking argue with you about that because we don't have 3 hours tonight. But it's not like he got up there and did the Eddie Murphy skit of the reggae band at
the only white people.
But buy my record first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he didn't. That wasn't his Nike commercial. It wasn't like, hey, whitey, fuck you. You know, this big black dick's running up in your daughter. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. Now, if people want to try to paint it like that, that's on them. That says more about them than it says about the fucking reality of the situation. But I mean, there's also, look, Eric Reed filed this lawsuit with him. Eric Reed still has a career in the NFL. All the other players that kneeled still have a career in the NFL. So it is possible. The question is, will any team give them a shot? And let's be honest, if there's collusion at this point, should be to put on my tinfoil hat. If I was the NFL, you know what I'd do? I'd go to an AAF team and I'd say, talk to him. How much to get him to play for you? We'll pay his salary through back channels. Just keep him out of the NFL because we just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just keep him out of the NFL. Now, it's a dick move, but from a business standpoint, which is what the NFL is, ultimately in the end, that's a smart move. So,
and he makes sure you get paid if he's in the AAF.
Yeah, if some team throws him $20 million to play quarterback,
why not?
You know what I'm saying?
Because with the level of football that's going on in the AAF, bet he'd be able to slide right in there, no problem. Be a superstar right away.
That's our other story. Is AAF was in danger of missing payroll last week, and it was an NHL team owner that came in and saved their ass. Carolina Hurricanes majority owner Tom Dundon came in and invested.
Is he a jerk?
$250 million into the AAF, and that allowed the league to meet its financial obligations. By the way, he's also been announced as the AAF's new chairman. So
is he a jerk too?
I don't know. Probably. According to everybody's a jerk. According to Don Cherry, except for his tailor and Bob Probert and Ty Domi.
Right.
But
I mean, week 2 AAF, we're already in danger of missing payroll. Not good. Not good. Their season over in April anyway. They only got 8 teams.
Nobody cared.
I mean, yeah, sign cap. Like I said, maybe it'd be a splashy signing. It'd be something. They got to do. I tried watching again, and it really wasn't enough. I watched Birmingham versus Salt Lake City. This time, it looks like Salt Lake City is going to be a turd team. I don't know. They're all turd teams. Like it is.
Let's be honest. You're talking about a big signing. You could sign Mike Tyson. And come watch that shit. They're just not. That's not what they want to see.
Well, here's the surprising thing in the article via Yahoo Sports about this that I'm reading this from. I'm quoting from an article now. Without a new 9-figure investor, nobody is sure what would have happened. You can always tell their checks are going to be a little late. You can always tell people their checks are going to be a little bit late, but how many people are going to show up on the weekend for games when they don't see anything hit their bank accounts on Friday? It goes on to say that's a stark contrast to the good feeling surrounding the league after its debut. Ratings were actually good. To quote directly, is ratings were good, and a lot was made of the AAF's first set of games drawing more viewers than an NBA game on ABC between the Rockets and the Thunder. Yep. Overall, the reception to the league was positive, which is rare for anything in the social media age. And ain't that the goddamn truth?
Give them that, but the problem is you're going to have word of mouth going around. Like, I guess any port in a storm. I mean, again, we're talking about football in late February, pro football. Using the word pro fast and loose. But it's ice. I mean, we differ on a lot of opinions. We're kind of united front on this one. Like, yawn. Like, this is not good football.
No.
Like, it's practice squad football, man.
Type of football.
It's practice squad football.
It truly is. You can't even eat popcorn to that. Kind of like, fuck it.
Like I like it. I guess the things that I like is they don't have kickoffs. They're doing some things that we'll probably see in the NFL in the future. Like there's a coin toss and you just get the ball on the 25-yard line. Is there punts, Ice? I think there's punts.
I did not see one. I didn't watch it that much.
Or maybe there's. I don't know, but it's not good.
Well, apparently, judging by the comments on this article, I got to say, I am surprised. Most of it is positive. a lot of the talk is the NFL has TV sponsorship. If the AAF wants to survive, it needs a mainstream TV deal. Very limited CBS all-access contracts, not enough. It's too bad they're only televised on upper-level cable packages. I could only watch the first week when one game was played on CBS.
A game I saw was on like TNT or something this week.
Another guy says, I'm willing to watch the games, but not willing to pay for the privilege. If CBS, NBC, or ABC doesn't carry the games, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch.
Yeah, you think I'm going to pay for this? Oh no. You better put it on free TV and hope I'm drunk enough to put it on. Because yeah, CBS All Access is $6 a month. Dude, that's Hulu prices. I ain't paying for that.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much all the same things you guys are saying. They're like, I'm not going to pay to watch it. It needs to get a national network, not the NFL network. That seems to be the consensus.
And Ice brought it up last week. I told you they need some names. They got some names. Mike Singletary ain't playing the game. All right, you get all the big name coaches you want. They're not out on the field. At the end of the day, what's out on the field is what we're watching. They might be coordinating it. Fuck it. Let's do some stunt casting. Bring in Johnny Football. Shit'll be entertaining. Like, it'll do something. Because what's going on right now, I see maybe we get under 5 years, maybe 2 or 3 seasons of this.
Isn't Johnny Football still in the Canada football league?
I think he got shit canned.
But I mean, it is a good point, man. There are players who were, touted as like, next big things or had a lot of hype coming into the NFL who, fizzled out, whatever. That might actually do them good to play at a level below the NFL to where, I mean, if you get 3 or 4 quarterbacks, a handful of wide receivers, and just, a couple just really good people on defense, they're going to look like beasts out there.
Yes.
And if they start putting up huge numbers, that's when people will be like, did you see how much fucking they passed? That was some Madden video game shit, man. And it's never going to be the NFL.
You're right. And I kind of equate it to what Ice Cube tried to do or is trying to do. You guys heard of the Big 3 League?
Yeah.
Basketball, yeah.
Yeah. And he has all the big names in that league. All the used to be's.
Yeah.
Is it Rappaport is one of his commentators? Play-by-play?
Wait a minute, hold on. Ron Artest, first game, 3 minutes into the game, ejected because he kicked a ball into the stands.
Oh, meta.
More shit changes, more shit stays the same.
Is he still meta world peace in the Big 3, or is he Ron Artest again?
I think, they called him Ron Artest I remember hearing them, it wasn't a play-by-play, but I remember hearing them talk about it on 97.1. I was like, oh, okay, well, that sounds like a very Ron Artest thing to do. I just had to wonder how staged was that. But no, I don't know. Get a couple people in there, get a couple people that can stand out in the crowd.
What needs to happen is NFL free agency happens. Some people who don't get signed drop. Maybe it happens. They drop to the AAF. Maybe that's how it happens. Something. They got to do something.
Well, it seems like the one thing that is helping the AAF the most at this moment is they're not trying to be in direct competition with the NFL. They're not doing what the USFL did. Like the USFL went after, like they had their draft, the NFL had their draft, and the USFL was like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Steve Young, and we're going to go ahead and take Eric Dickerson, and we're going to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were trying to take, like, top draft picks from the NFL, and in some cases got them. I mean, now their contracts were bullshit. I remember the 30 for 30 where Steve Young was like, I had some guy yelling at me while I was on the field, we're paying you $10 million. And then he's like, he just kept yelling, Bomb, play better. We're paying you $10 million. And then he goes, all of a sudden I heard my mom yell from the stands, Yeah, but it's an annuity over 40 years.
So what you're saying is, at 1:30, America is stepping to the fat chick, not the 10.
Solid 5.
Yeah.
It's
1:30. We're looking at the 5. We're not eyeballing the 10. They're going, all right. It's March. We're still watching football. What do you want?
Well, speaking of big names and salaries, who's going to pay Antonio Brown next season?
First of all, it ain't about paying. It's about who's going to give the Steelers enough to get him out of there, because he met
with Rooney,
and the quote was, "It's time for me to leave."
It's better for them to part ways.
Yeah, they both came to mutual agreement. Like, yes, we're done here.
Especially you got Antonio Brown liking and retweeting tweets from years ago, calling Ben Roethlisberger a rapist and this and that. And it's starting to get nasty, because there's, Shannon Sharp was talking with Skip Bayless about, Roethlisberger acts like, he's part owner of the Steelers. He's not, but he acts like it. And he's above criticism. He never talks about when he plays bad, but he'll call out Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown's sick of it. And it's like, okay, it's interesting, I guess, to know like all the inner workings and cogs and springs of that relationship. But all you're doing is just reinforcing my idea that they're not going to play it together on the same field, on the same team ever again.
Hey,
right, but would you rather release an old and busted Ben Roethlisberger or the new hotness Antonio Brown?
Yeah, Ben's old as fuck. He's going to be gone soon. But again, I guess if he's still there, who's
going to throw to Antonio Brown if you get rid of Roethlisberger?
Yeah, someone who's not there yet or doesn't know the system.
Kaepernick.
Hey, Mike Vick was backing up Ben for a season.
Well, hey, and who knows? What's Joey Harrington doing?
Playing piano. Somewhere.
Eating strawberries and sipping wine
with his husband.
Get Romo Damas back in there.
No.
The Steelers going to be a 500 football team for the one season that he hopefully makes it through before he gets killed.
Telling you, AB goes Cleveland. Mark it. Write it down.
Vegas is got the odds-on favorite for Green Bay.
Oh,
and if Vegas is saying Green Bay,
oh man,
yeah,
oh man, oh,
if that's,
I think I just got a little chub.
If that's the truth, then the Lions need to do a full court press and get him there, or at least drive the price up so high that Green Bay won't touch him. They can't have another Khalil Mack situation. They can't let another dominant player at his position, arguably the most dominant player at his position, come into
either
their
that or they
division.
need to change. They need to change divisions.
Well, I mean, the standard, well-worn carpet here in Detroit in the offseason is we need more weapons for Stafford, and now the rumor coming out of Allen Park is that they're going for a tight end for their first overall pick. Fuck that.
Neat.
Fuck that. Get Antonio Brown.
Dude, I need some alone time thinking about fucking Aaron Rodgers throwing to Antonio Brown. Like, oh my God. How great would that be?
How scary. That's scary. I mean, that would be something like, I don't know, Brady throwing to Randy Moss. Oh.
Brady the Mouse.
And I don't think the Steelers are going to move him into the division, especially if the Steelers are seeing the writing on the wall with Roethlisberger.
It'd be fucked up. Trade him to Baltimore.
You know what I'm saying?
Let Lamar Jackson throw to him.
See, now what's interesting is Antonio Brown is not the type of guy you want with a young quarterback who you're trying to build up his confidence. You're going to need a veteran quarterback to handle a guy like Antonio Brown. Because I guarantee you Antonio Brown's the type of guy that runs back into the huddle and cusses out the quarterback. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I was wide open. That type of shit. He doesn't seem like.
Or does he go to Chicago?
That's the thing. All the rumors I've heard, I haven't heard anything about Chicago.
Oh, Green Bay. Oh my God, it's over.
Mean, fantasy numbers would be great, but if you're a Lions fan,
Chris, stop touching yourself.
I can't.
Put it down.
Can't. That's a dream scenario. So, yeah. So I guess I should wrap up the show so I go finish touching myself. It's the most awkward segue ever to end the show. But hey, we are on Twitter at SportGeek Podcast. You can email the show, sportgeek@ChristopherMedia.net. New show on Thursdays. We're on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcast. We are on Google Play. You can hit up ChristopherMedia.net, hit that donate button, and click through the Amazon link. That's where you can help us out. You can buy your Amazon things, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. We get a couple bucks. And new listeners, I see you showing up every week. Thanks for listening, everyone. Catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, yo.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
The thing about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive. We don't even need the words the Home and Auto Bundle anymore to tell you that you could save big with the ring-tailed lemur from Progressive, or that every hot peach cobbler comes with round-the-clock service and protection. And that's the thing about the goat with magic powers. You've heard a lot of ads about the sushi in Vancouver. See how much you could save with the Home and Auto with the Shaman in the Jungle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Is that Shakespeare?
Nope, it's Geico.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare from one of his unpublished works. Oh, it be not for awakening. Nay, giveth thou the berries. For 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
No, it's from Geico, because they help save people money.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Geico got it from Shakespeare.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.